What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. I'm Bobby.
Hey, this is Chi.
I'm Tirrell.
And I am here enjoying my whiskey.
Ditto. Emilio had his whiskey. I poured myself one, and I poured myself a backup one, potentially for myself and our special guest, Tirrell.
If he wants one.
If he wants one.
Thirsty.
If he gets...
I like my high-quality H2O.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, it concerns me that you guys are starting out with the whiskey.
What
What do you mean?
Were you guys on, like, as far as, like, high-quality H2O? Like, do you guys drink tap water, or do you only drink out of... Because Sam will not drink tap water. I had to drive, because we didn't get our sparklets delivery. I had to drive to the fucking store. She was pregnant at the time, to get purified water, to bring it back. And so, are you guys like that, or do you drink tap water?
I will drink anything.
Yeah.
I grew up, my dad had a well outside of his house, but never put salt in it. So the water was horrendous. So trying to drink that stuff, and then, going back to a city where they actually have chlorine and everything inside the water,
Yeah.
it actually tasted better. So I'm not really picky. I will drink water as long as it tastes good to me.
Some cities are way better than others.
Yeah.
Is well water without salt? What's
I've
the
never heard
quality
about
like?
that.
Is it even clear?
It looks clear. It just has like some kind of, it's a weird taste. It's
Yeah.
really, like, you got to mask it with like Kool-Aid or something. Put some type of sugar inside there, a flavor to make it taste good. Other than that, no, you're not going to want to touch it at all.
When I when I think of well water, I'm just thinking of The Ring and, that poor little girl's fingernails getting into.
Think about the fingernails.
Now, if they got salt in the well water, it does actually, like, salted well water is probably some of the best tasting water I've ever had.
Wow.
So it's crazy. And I don't know why he never wanted to put salt in there. I guess it's super expensive, but that's what he wanted to do.
That's cool.
Tirrell was just telling us how, like, once he moved out of his home city, he's never been back to the town. And shitty-ass water might be one of the reasons.
100%.
So where are you from, Tirrell?
I'm from Ashtabula, Ohio.
Ohio.
So,
okay.
Born there. I ended up joining the military. That's what brought me out here. I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. I was an F-18 jet mechanic. And I stayed out here. I got out in 2011.
Okay,
and
awesome.
Still here. Here I am.
That's why we have so many people. There's two things that happen in San Diego. People come to vacation here, go to SeaWorld or whatever, or the zoo, and they're like, let's try to move here. Or we have 4 or 5 bases. People get stationed here. They take a look around, and they're like, this is so much better than wherever X place that I'm from, and they try to move here too. So that's why the population just explodes around here. When I got here, there was no traffic. That was 15 years ago. Very little traffic.
It gets worse every year just by a little bit.
Yeah, just by a little bit.
You really start to notice it, especially when you drive the same route over and over again. After a while, you really start to notice the traffic building up.
They keep saying the fucking robots are going to take over. I can't wait. Just so the fucking I could drive to work, man.
Yeah. All right. But so, Tirrell, you stream quite a bit, right? And your streamer name is ExuberantGaming?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Exuberant
All right.
Gaming.
We'll be sure to tag that in the link so you guys can check it out. Yeah, we've got a lot of streamers in San Diego.
Yeah. And Sniper found you through the San Diego Discord, correct?
Yeah,
the
I
San
believe
Diego
so.
Streamers Discord?
I believe so. He jumped in my chat when I was live last week. And
Okay.
Then, let me know all the information.
Awesome.
So I
Good
wanna
creeping,
say
Sniper.
From there. Yeah, good job, Sniper. Thank you for the opportunity.
I found these dudes in a bar, so you done good, Sniper.
All right. So we want to give a shout out to Red Rum donating $50 before we even started streaming.
Damn.
Wow.
Thank you so much, man.
Red
Nice.
Rum.
Hardcore.
Yep.
Love it.
And it is the first of the month, so we are getting some subscriptions in. JP Diddy, 15 months,
There we go.
getting
That's
up there.
awesome.
All right. And we got some new patrons this week, too.
Yeah, we did. Chris, thank you. And Adam, thank you. Whatever we promised you, we will get to you whenever I get around to it. And the biddies coming in from Red Rum.
All right. All right.
Tirrell, what's your streaming schedule like?
So my streaming schedule currently right now is Monday through Friday. So almost a full-time streamer, but not necessarily because I still got to take care of, life,
Yeah.
girlfriend.
How the hell do you do it?
working out.
Monday through Friday?
So right now I have not worked since February of last year. So I didn't jump off the ship and be like, I'm gonna stop my job 40 hours a week and go stream full time, because obviously it takes a lot of subscribers and all that fun stuff to do that. I was released. However, I was released from my job back in February last year, but I had enough money saved up to where I was like, you know what? I'm still young. I have enough time to, try to figure out this journey of streaming and see how far I can get with it. So a whole year later, I currently am looking for a job, but I'm still streaming Monday through Friday, particularly Apex Legends, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm not gonna lie, there are some ups and downs with Apex right now, but for the most part, being able to be with the community and stream and have fun and make people laugh, I'm all about it.
Dude,
That's awesome.
I'm glad you took a risk instead of like taking some shitty job that you hate, that you could have got easily. Way better to fucking take a risk at something that you're gonna love. You know what I mean?
My mentality is when I was working that 40-hour job a week, like I didn't realize it, but my mentality was like, actually, I'm a pretty positive person, and when I would come home from work, I'm feeling all like down and energy sucked out of me. I'm like, what is the issue? Like, I don't get this.
Soul sucking, dude.
Yeah,
and a job that you don't like.
And I didn't realize that until I was actually gone. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I've been enjoying it, being able to create YouTube videos, post on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, and mess around with TikTok as well. So it's a great experience so far.
All right, Tirrell Senpai, he could teach me a thing or two about being consistent and posting shit. What's Instagram again? No, I'm really happy to hear that you are enjoying it and really investing yourself. Like, it means a lot to, and that's the thing, like you said, it's a journey, and you're still, like, the fact that you're actively doing the motion speaks levels beyond anything at all, because I can say I was a better streamer starting off, and I can't even say I even am a streamer anymore, just based on my...
But every week she does say, I'm going to get back to streaming. It's a vicious cycle. There's 3 things that happen.
It's like a toxic relationship.
I really need to start streaming. I dabbled with some streaming. I played this game, but it wasn't a streaming game. Those are the 3 things that possibility. There's a wheel of cheese stream, and it'll land on one of those 3 things.
I stream as often as I'm like drunk texting the exes and stuff like that.
Let's hope your boyfriend doesn't listen to this. Jesus Christ. All right.
I'm just joking, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I wanted to hit one more thing. So, was I reading this correctly on your Twitch page? Did you used to play competitively in any games?
Yes. So I used to play. So I grew up playing Counter-Strike from 6th grade. So like started at 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. 1.4 was out for about a week. 1.5, I played it the whole 9 yards. So that was my competitive background. When Apex Legends came out, I've been playing it since the beginning, so I got to scrim season 1. So it's like I'm not a professional player, but I got my foot in the door, and I know a handful of people who are in the pro scene of Apex. So yeah, I'm trying, if possible. It's really hard to find a squad because I did take a hiatus, 1 week hiatus last week, and what's going on with Apex is they have a split for ranked. So looking into the Discords is kind of brutal, trying to find a solid squad to play with over and over and over again. So,
and also, if you're streaming at the same time, you're trying to get better. That could almost like you're tripping over your own foot, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be entertaining. You're trying to get better. It's got to be like, trying to tie your shoelaces and run at the same time.
Absolutely. To be able to communicate with your chat and keep them entertained while trying to maintain a high level of play, it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
it's definitely
for sure.
Something that it's doable, but it is definitely hard. It's not easy.
The best like skilled players that I've seen, I'm thinking of like Shroud and people like that. They just ignore chat because they're so good. They're like fucking dialed in.
Yeah.
But they're so good that people watch because they're so good. It's almost like, which one do I take? Am I the goofy, fucking loud, boisterous guy, or am I the super skilled guy? But you gotta focus. I don't know. It's hard. I can't do it. I can't even play fucking jumping games when I'm streaming. I'm so much better than this if you guys weren't watching me.
The way I
can't
see
be
it,
if you're watching.
the way I see it, not most of us are Shroud level in terms of shooters.
Sure.
So I say it's just finding the perfect middleman, and having an audience that understands your ability, your capability in terms of juggling chat and also gameplay. So it's more so not necessarily all on you. It's also on the audience too to be understanding. So.
Yeah, when were you when were you streaming again? Where's all this knowledge coming from? All right. Let's get the show on the road.
Yep. Let's talk about some games. So on the right are games that have come to our attention this week. First of all, PAX East just finished up today. So there were a ton of games, so many games that were being shown. And Steam did this really cool thing where they were showing these games on a page and you could watch someone play it. Even though the game is not even out yet, it may have a Steam store page, but you can't buy it in early access, but people are still streaming it so you can see what it actually looks like. And I really like this page they have set up. I went through a couple of these. I only wrote down 2 that I really liked, but a lot of Cyberpunk, a lot of like AA games, not AAA, not super expensive, big budget games, but a lot of good ones here. But the 2 that really caught my attention, one was Liberated. Just saw it right here. So I'm always fascinated by games that look like comic books. I think that comes from 13, that old game, like 20-year-old game that I streamed last summer. But this one is like a side scroller, and it's like you're jumping through panes of a comic, and it's neo-noir, cyberpunk. I don't know. It's like
dystopian near future. Can I finish your sentence here?
yeah, it's all that stuff, very Blade Runner, but it's an RPG, so it makes me think that it's got a strong story element. When you shoot people, the little words pop up just like in a comic book, it's like Into the Spider-Verse. It just looks cool. That jumped out at me, but then the game, like the trailer that I watched of the game also looks pretty compelling too.
So I started going right before the podcast because I wait too long. I was actually playing a game that I'll talk about in highlights. But so I'm like, okay, I'll just grab the whatever's on PAX East, and I just saw this super long list.
Too many.
Like, I'm going to wait till next week because I really want to take a good look at them and see what's really worth taking a look at for me.
Yeah. I mean, they all look great. This one just kind of jumped out to me for some reason. There's no price point on it. Release date is Q2 of 2020, so a little bit down the line here, not too far away. But I don't know. I would guess this one's going to be what, like $20, you think?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Looks like a $20 game.
Yeah.
All right. The other one, this one I think we might have already talked about, West of Dead. So this is a Western game, obviously. And it's like a twin-stick shooter, but it uses a lot of cover. Like it's like a cover shooter. It's all about like getting in certain areas and then shooting it out. Really interesting art style. Again, just has that very heavily stroked look to it. The main character is voiced by Ron Perlman, so they got a little star power in there.
Ron Perlman is who?
Ron Perlman. Did you ever see that movie Drive? I don't know.
Oh, yes, I love Drive.
He was one of the Jewish gangsters with Albert Brooks.
I don't remember
He's a really
anything
big
but
guy.
Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
It's hard to see anything beyond that.
Yeah, he didn't have a huge part in that, but he was in Hellboy too, wasn't he? Ron Perlman, chat, help me out here. Hellboy, thank you.
He is Hellboy.
He is Hellboy.
Oh,
He's
he
huge.
is
He's a
Hellboy.
big
Wow.
guy. He's a big guy.
He has a brick for a head.
jaw.
Okay, I understand that reference.
Yeah, he was also in that monster movie with the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't remember what it was called. Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, he always plays these big tough guys. He's like a huge,
he's not going to play a dainty feller.
Yeah, he's a very. What am I doing here? I'll just.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to do this. Everybody's got a mental image. Yeah.
Ron Perlman.
See, now I know.
Now I completely understand.
Yeah.
When you throw away the Drive reference.
That probably wasn't
Ron
the best reference to start with.
Perlman.
Dude, so he said he got
Thanos.
shafted.
Legit. Human Thanos.
Yeah, there you go. I think he was on a podcast and they asked him about Hellboy 3, why he wasn't. He's like, we had the script, we had the director, everything was good. And then I saw on Twitter that the Hellboy reboot was like, they already had footage of it. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, we were ready to go. Yeah, or I thought I was ready to go. And then he just felt like he got railroaded on that. Did you watch the new one?
No, I heard it was terrible.
Yeah, the first 2 were way better.
Yeah. Yep. But good actor, though. And I don't know if he's done voice acting before, at least not for video games, so that'll be interesting.
This reminds me a lot of 12 is better than 6. But
Yeah, but I'd say the graphics are definitely a step up. I did like that kind of
for
sparse
sure.
look of 12 is better than 6,
Yeah.
but this definitely...
And the angle's different for a twin 6 shooter. Usually twin 6 shooters are top down. This is
And zoomed out.
Yeah, this
far.
is like isometric. It's a forced perspective. Yeah.
it's almost too stylized. Like, it's hard to tell. I hate when games get so stylized that you can't tell what's in the foreground, what's in the background. I'm playing a game that I'll talk about
You're just getting
later.
old, Emilio.
I know. I'm like, I try to jump on a generator, but the generator's in the background. I just fall, and I'm like, fuck, man. I thought that was a platform. Yeah, you're exactly right, Chief.
I honestly don't think this is stylized enough.
What?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. It's very dark though, so I don't know if the darkness plays a role in this, like if that's a factor, because it seems like as he walks, places light up. I think that's part of the game. But I do see what you're saying. Like back in the day when graphics were really terrible, I remember playing some like Jedi Knight games and just not being able to find things just because it's like, oh, hit this switch and everything looks so pixelated and blurry that you can't really tell what's what. And now that graphics have gotten so much better, sometimes they go a little overboard. And I always think of Monaco as a game that just had legibility issues.
Yeah.
It kind of impeded the gameplay.
Crawl also.
Crawl as well. Yeah,
like,
but that was like super retro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. West of Dead could be good. This game is coming out this spring. No price point as of yet.
Definitely has style.
Yeah.
No, it looks fun. I honestly think this would be a high quality twin stick shooter compared to what's really available out there that isn't a roguelite or a roguelike.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. All right, next up we got Iron Harvest. So, Tirrell, I think you put this one on.
Yes, I did. So when I was on my 1 week hiatus from Apex because I was trying to find a squad, I was wanting to look for other games to play, and I remember playing like real-time strategy. I grew up playing Counter-Strike as well as StarCraft. So I was like, are there any real-time strategy games out that are new? And so I was looking. There was one called Company of Heroes that I saw, but then I was like, I seen this, and it's not out yet. I think it comes out September 1st. It's a World War-based game in Europe with like an alternative history. They have mechs, as you can see in the video. It's kind of like a steampunk type era that's going on with a little bit of CC. It is RTS, so I thought it was pretty cool when I saw it. But unfortunately, I never got to put my hands on it. I was only getting teased by the video. So.
Yeah, we covered this when it got announced. I mean, just like on the radar, just because it looks so fucking cool. Who knows if they're going to be able to pull this off? But like, man, does it look awesome!
Yeah,
especially just their trailer is like, it's kind of like Forrest Gump when they force modern things in old videos, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty awesome.
I see Valkyria Chronicles, but in RTS form, a little bit.
Valkyria Chronicles. Is that
Minus
a DS game?
the anime, no, PlayStation game. Very good.
I don't know. This very much
PlayStation
looks like
game.
Company of Heroes to me. Oh, by the way, I can't let this slide. Forrest Gump, I went back and watched that, and those parts do not look as good as you remember, man,
Really?
when they did. I mean, that was when they first tried doing it. I mean, God bless Robert Zemeckis, always trying something, Roger Rabbit and everything. But, like, if you want to see that done much better, check out Pixels, even though that's a much worse movie. But I went back, and I do not remember Forrest Gump looking that bad, like those scenes. It was
just
rough.
saw It's a Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks. It's brand new. And they've superimposed him in Oprah. And I was like, that's rough. Like I was like, he looks brand new and everything else.
It's tough, man. It never looks quite right.
Yeah.
And it looks even worse for some reason on smaller screens.
But in Star Wars, they brought a dead woman to life and it looks fine. And but it's harder to put a new person in an old thing.
I don't know. A lot of nerds might disagree with you on that.
Even the new one?
No, I think the new one was better. Rogue One was a little rough. But
Yeah,
again,
Rogue One was
I
rough.
watched in the theater. I'm like, oh, this is fine. I watched it at home on a smaller screen.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, ooh.
Yeah.
What was really bad, Leia wasn't too bad. It was Tarkin that, like, when he talked, like, it's because we're so good. Like, we have this innate ability to just pick apart the human face and every subtle expression. It's impossible to do that, man. It's the uncanny valley.
The Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it's so tough. But anyway, this game looks really cool.
Man.
Yeah, I was wondering where that tangent was going. You just pulled a smoochie
Yeah.
in a way.
But I brought it back.
So Iron Harvest.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you're checking out RTSs, man, because I love RTSs. And recently I've been getting back into Warcraft with the Reforged. I don't know if you ever played that back in the day, but that's still solid.
Did you play Warcraft?
I did touch it. I didn't own the copy myself. It was more if I go over to my buddy's house, he would play. We would take turns type thing. But I do have a buddy now who plays World of Warcraft who has playing the new the Reforged or Warcraft Reforged. I don't know anything about it, but I do know he enjoys it. I always see him on my friends list playing it. So
I don't even know what the premier RTS is right now. What would you think is the most
Used to be
played RTS?
StarCraft, I guess.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2.
Can we do Can we do a search and see most played RTS? Is that possible on Steam?
Most popular RTS games, 2019.
I would say the most reputable one with me is They Are Billions in terms of.
Is that an I guess that is an
Yeah,
RTS.
either way.
Totally.
I don't know. I feel like they're constantly bringing stuff back, like Age of Empires 2. Like we're always trying to relive the glory days of RTS.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't know, but like new ones.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's
It
like
is kinda hard.
I was struggling trying to find something that I wanted to actually spend money on and try to play, and I ended up going back to StarCraft 2 because it was on BattleNet, and I never played it. I only
it's
played
free
the first
now.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Company of Heroes is solid though. Like it's one of the best reviewed ones.
Yeah, that's a good one, and it looks a lot like that game too, like visually.
yeah, definitely.
All right, what do we got up next? Curse of the Dead Gods.
I think this comes out of PAX as well. This is another fucking twin stick shooter roguelike, but god damn does it look good.
God damn, it's a stylized.
Yeah, it's but not overly so where I won't be able to tell bad
It's
guys.
again with the heavy shadows and the broad strokes,
It
man.
is,
That's like
yeah.
the look. But you know what? I watched this video and they did a fantastic job in the video explaining all the mechanics of the games and just walking you through it.
Yeah, for sure. There's different, it's everything that you've seen in a bunch of different games like this. When I was watching it, it looks just like Hades, but even better. Graphically, it looks better. I don't know if combat-wise it'll be better, but I'm already sold. Like, this is my shit right here. It has different kind of weapons that have different... When you pick up a different weapon, you have a different combat style with that weapon. There's different stats, and everything you get. If you have a lot of health, you can sacrifice your blood to the blood god and like get health get power-ups, kind of like Binding of Isaac. So it's got risk versus reward, all that stuff. I mean, this is just exactly the kind of games that I love.
Yeah.
I still got to go back and finish Hades though, because Hades, unlike other roguelikes, actually has an end. You can start it and finish it. This one looks like another one that just keeps on going forever. But we'll see. This is already bought though.
Yeah, I like the corruption mechanic they were talking about. And also this part here, you can see he's choosing his path here. So you can kind of change the dungeon ahead of you. You can do all these things in this game to kind of change the way your journey goes, as opposed to just rolling through it and killing everything. So I like
What
that
do
they
you
give you
mean,
those options.
changing the dungeon? Was he changing?
Yeah,
the
you can choose like
route of item desirability, because it looks like he's
Yeah.
going between gold and or.
No, these are rooms. These are rooms that you're going to go to, and you can increase the likelihood of like what's going to be in those rooms. So you choose one of these paths, and I don't know. There's another game that did this, and it did it really well. I want to say
Slay the
Abyssal
Spire did
Odyssey.
it.
Oh, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I think Abyssal Odyssey, one of those Ace Team games. I think that was it. But you could choose the path ahead of you, and you'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm going for a gold run, or I'm trying to get more items, or this is what I need in this particular run. So
So
that
this
was
is a
cool.
roguelike or roguelite? Roguelite.
I think it's a roguelike, but I'm not sure. I haven't.
They call it right here in the tags a roguelite because they do say that after each run you can get these buffs, these blessings, I think they call it, where you get like +2 defense or something, and that's systemic. You take that on through your next playthrough. But the corruption mechanic was really cool too. Like it kind of reminded me of the Stress and Darkest Dungeon. Like you build up the this corruption meter, and then when it tops out you get this curse, but sometimes you can make the curse work for you. Like you can adjust your play style or adjust your buffs or whatever to make it beneficial.
And conversely, you can also debuff the bad guys because this is a really dark game. It's blackness everywhere. But if
Trend this week.
if you light things like those braziers or whatever, and there's more light on the bad guys, they get weaker. So you might want to spend more time lighting the braziers and getting it lit than
So
fighting.
you can actually see it with your old man eyes.
Yes.
So the main hero.
Gamma 9000.
So the main hero for me is reminiscent of a prize Dota 2 player. I forgot what his name is, but he actually has that Wolverine arm, and then he can turn into wolves. He's got the red jacket.
Oh.
And that's the thing. The reason why I think RTSs aren't really a prominent game category in this day and age is because the MOBA scene has taken over.
Yeah.
And
That's probably it.
I can make sense. Yeah, definitely.
and he reminds me of Wolfman from Dota 2.
So
I don't have my cell phone,
she
so I
likes
can't
to bring
Google it.
things up and
You got
Cross
Zerker.
references.
and not have the name for it.
No, I'm horrible with
Zed.
the details of
Is
that.
his name the Wolfman?
No, he spawns wolves. Lichen, boom.
Lichen.
Lichen.
All right. Oh yeah,
Yes,
it does.
boom.
Oh, okay, there we
Hella
go.
lichen. Show his little.
Oh, Ron Perlman got it.
Oh my god.
Bringing it back.
All right.
No, but
His
it's
stats
more
were-
or less the main hero.
Oh, he turns into wolves. I
Look,
see.
he's got the Wolverine arm. I honestly feel like the main protagonist of Curse of the Dead Gods looks exactly like Lichen.
Very
So that's
similar.
pretty awesome.
Very similar.
Brazier is a bra. Yeah, that didn't sound right. How do you pronounce
Brazier? No, it's not Brazzers.
No, brazier is a bra. That's like a bruh. I don't know what the pronunciation.
Brassiere? Oh, I've never
Brassiere.
worn
Hey,
one.
if you don't know how it's said, we're gonna go with Brazier. Brazier?
Brazier.
Brazier.
Brazier. Holy shit.
Brazier.
Like Frasier.
Yeah, like Frasier, but brazier.
Oh.
Brazier.
Okay.
So what's a brassiere?
A brazier.
I know what Brazzers is.
No, whatever
Cost
he
me
said.
$9.99 a month.
What? What's a browser?
It's like one of the best porn sites.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, gee.
Wait, $9.99 without VR? What's wrong with you?
Oh,
I'm just
goodness. All right, so Curse of
pays
the
for
Dead
porn?
Gods. This game comes out March 3rd. This will be out on Tuesday when this episode airs.
Sick.
Yeah. And no price yet, though, which is unusual. All right. Okay, the last... Oh, let's bring up this one. I wanted to end on that. Next up, Dead End Job.
Now, Bobby, before
I can talk about this one.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, it's a video game.
Because it's called Dead End Job. Ha ha.
Another roguelike, Rouge-like.
Bobby, did you play-
Liete. Lite.
Turjam and Earl?
Yeah, the new one?
No, the old
No,
one.
the old
The old
school.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe this is just like trying
okay.
to mimic that game. So even the art style looks very Toe Jam and Earl. And you said, how did the game go? What was the structure? Wasn't it randomly generated? Something about 100 levels. You were talking about it
I mean,
one
the
time.
new one might have been, but I don't know if the old one was. I don't know if you could do that on a Sega Genesis.
Oh,
But I don't know. The really cool thing about Toe Jam and Earl was always that you would go up. Every level was like above each other. So if you fell down from one level, you drop down to the level before it. And sometimes you could use that to your advantage and get to like hidden places. I don't know, there are a lot of great things about that game. But I do kind of see the similarity. Like, yeah, maybe a little Toe Jam and Earl, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but not really graphically.
that's what I was thinking of. Zombies Ate
My Neighbors.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, how's that game not
Oh,
been redone?
it's an actual live broadcast. I thought this was their, what's it called? I thought this
Preview.
was their game trailer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they do have streams as game trailers.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I think
was
it's awesome.
I might be a little bit critical, but I said I thought that it's hard to sell a game when the streamer looks so miserable, but he's actually live streaming right now.
It's his game face.
Toxic.
He's concentrating.
Damn, geez.
I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
All right. Oh, look, the trailer. Smiling faces.
You only get to the top of Twitch by stepping on the necks of others.
Don't worry. I look miserable all the time on my stream, too. But,
Only when you're playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
oh, I know.
She only
I
plays
still play.
Counter-Strike
So,
to get
Tirrell,
mad.
like you, I wouldn't doubt that we're similar in age. You might be even younger than me.
I'm 32.
Oh, 1 year older than me. 87?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
July
so-
29th. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. So we more or less probably have the same path, linear, I would say parallel path of PC gaming. I started with 1.5 as well.
Okay.
And I still play Counter-Strike horribly. And I play Apex. I'm not a bad Apex squad mate. I'm actually not bad at Apex. I'm pretty good.
That's good.
But I just don't invest myself into anything at all. Like,
Completely understandable.
that's why my relationships don't last either. But moving on. Dead end job? Wait. No. Gosh.
I see what you're saying.
Salt
This
in the
does-
well with this one.
This does look like.
Saltless well.
Oh, this is already out too. $8.49 on sale right now. Typically $17. Came out December 13th, 2019. Huh.
I only put it up there because I thought you were a big fan of the Toe Jam and Earl. So
This looks, now that I look at it like closer, this definitely, the map looks way more like Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Okay.
I don't know if it has, the nice thing about that game, there was so many different weapons and they're all very creative. Like it wasn't even about one being better than the other. Like they just all did random different things like the fire extinguisher or the squirt gun that you start with or the weed whacker. They all had their purpose.
Surprising how many
Is this
twin stick
multiplayer?
shooters have shown up on
Yeah.
the radar today.
There's so many of those on PAX East. Full controller support, single player only. Oh, see, that's too bad.
But look, in the it says couch co-op. So I think there's a mistake somewhere. One of those things is wrong.
Yeah, in the description it does say couch co-op.
Yeah, it's got to be co-op because it's a 2-player. Whatever, we'll figure it out later.
What's weird is that you don't see 2 players on the screen. You only see the one.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
1 players.
Maybe that's coming later. It's not in early
Maybe that's why that
access.
guy's miserable. He doesn't have a friend.
Maybe his friend left or died. Yeah, I don't see 2 players in any of these. Okay, all right. We'll figure that out later. All right, so the last thing I wanted to end on here with On the Radar is something called GoldenEra. This is not a game. This is actually a movie. Last week we were talking about that documentary, Pretending I'm a Superman, documentary on the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. This is a documentary called GoldenEra that is on GoldenEye, probably the biggest shooter on consoles
Ever.
Yeah, like
Wow.
ever. Just a real turning point.
Yeah.
And they have a trailer up which you can check out.
Oh,
now
I
this
wish we
game
could
wasn't
cue
that
music, 'cause that would be so amazing right now.
the
Emilio, please.
Dun-dun, dun-dun.
No. That one.
I don't know that one.
I'm
What?
not sure what that one is.
No,
Is
some
that
more whiskey.
GoldenEye music?
totally golden.
I never really played GoldenEye because I was pretty much a
Oh,
PC gamer. But this, like, I understand the importance of it because if you were a console gamer, this was like a turning point, right? There wasn't really any first-person shooters.
Definitely.
Well, this
Not
is when console
multiplayer,
games
not like this.
were more
Yeah.
entertaining than PC games, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean during this era. Well, I mean PC
During
games
this
still
era,
had like
during
like,
this era, PC didn't
this-
really have anything to compete with shooters on console
Was
outside
this,
of what
was this
Counter Strike and
1997?
Doom
I think this
and
was
Duke Nukem.
97.
Those are great. Those are great.
hold
But
on.
multiplayer.
Gee, I
Oh wait,
think
no,
like,
no,
Yeah,
no,
but-
Quake. I'm sorry. I'm okay. No,
Yeah.
I'm shooting myself in the foot here. I really
Yeah,
am.
Quake.
Foot and mouth. Foot and
Okay,
mouth.
97. Oh, there were a lot of
Yeah.
There
I
were a
think
lot of PC games.
TFC was already out, no?
Jedi
By
Knight, Dark
97.
Forces 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot. Yeah, Quake, like 1 and 2.
But
Doom 1
fun
and 2.
factor.
Yeah,
Well, I
gee.
think
Yeah, gee. Some of the greatest games ever.
but
I'm
mean,
sorry,
this-
Bobby. It just blows my brain that you never played.
Well, I didn't have an
GoldenEye.
N64. I had a friend who had one of these, but we did play a lot of GoldenEye on that. But I never played through the single player campaign. But I always remember doing that like 4 split screen, like the screen split up in 4 screens, and playing a lot of this. You know, trying to play on a screen like that big. You know, this is 97, so
Yeah.
you had like a 27-inch TV split 4 ways. You know, you had your face right against the TV. But yeah, this was a huge game and a huge turning point. And so the documentary, the trailer kind of makes it look like it talks a lot about the developers, and they were kind of an indie developer back in that day, and how that kind of worked against them when they started working with publishers. So it could be an interesting story there. But this is actually perfect for me because I've mentioned this to a few people on Discord, but in preparation for the new James Bond movie, I've been watching every single James Bond movie from the
course you have.
beginning. Yeah. Well, I've never seen them before.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
How many did you watch? So far?
I'm about halfway through. I'm on Moonraker,
Are
1979.
they good?
Okay.
So Bobby's like a movie buff. He watches like a lot of movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So this, I mean, I wanted to see what they were all about, and I kind of understand them. Like the old ones were kind of cheesy and fun, but I'm right at that part where they're about to take a turn where they start getting serious.
Okay.
I think that was around the Timothy Dalton era, like late 80s. But this one, GoldenEye, was one of the most highest grossing ones. It was Neil, what was his name?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan's
Yeah.
first one. All the other ones were terrible. But this was like one of the biggest James Bond movies here. And I think the game had a lot to do with that.
He
Yeah.
looks like fucking James Bond. Like,
No, Pierce
he's-
Brosnan was an amazing.
Yeah.
When I think of James Bond, I think of Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
because I grew up during the 90s.
Yeah.
But everyone else I talk to says, oh, Sean Connery.
Yeah. I remember he went on the Daily Show and he's like, Pierce Brosnan, that's your real name? He goes, I'm Dirk Lockjaw. Like, what's the fucking, it's like, sounds like, it's even better than fucking James Bond. Pierce Brosnan, they might as well win it with that.
You know what's funny? Pierce wasn't, even though he's super handsome and amazing, but my type of guy from GoldenEye was, what's his name? Boris. I had a thing for Boris because he was the same guy that was Sandy from Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my
Of course.
type.
Wow.
I'm into the Borises, obviously.
You know what a James Bond character. This is Daniel Craig's last James Bond movie, by the way. But Daniel Craig is the first James Bond without chest hair, which is like a bold move. I think that was a new direction they wanted to go through. But it's always been, if you look at all the James Bonds, Sean Connery, T. Dalt, Roger Moore, like Pierce Brosnan especially, dude. That chest hair is just
I remember that scene where there's like 3 Asian chicks and they're all rubbing on Sean Connery's chest. And,
Oh, I was too
like,
young. I didn't
like,
see
"Ooh."
that scene.
Yeah,
like,
you
this
only
is-
live twice. That
Yeah.
that movie is problematic, dude. He is straight up in yellow face in that movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
'cause he's like a spy?
Yeah, he does the prosthetics. He like hunches over and he like talks. So I was like, whoa, dude. I mean, the '60s were crazy.
So anyway, he's like, oh, ladies. And then the guy's like, they've never seen a man with hair on his chest before.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah,
very
that's-
problematic.
That's You Only Live Twice. That one takes place in Tokyo. That was actually, out of all the ones I've watched so far, that was one of the best ones. So that one, and
I've been shirtless around Chi, and that shit does not work.
I think it's a change, dude. That's why they went with Daniel Craig, less chest hair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're going with, I think Idris Elba. So he might be the first black 007. Well, that was, are they going to do it?
They said it's. I heard them say it's not going to be a woman. Like they said no on that. But yeah, I think he'd be good because it's always got to be someone
so
a little
good, dude.
older. It's got to be someone a little
Yeah.
older. Like it can't be like even early 30s. I think James Bond has to be like late 30s. I don't know. But this documentary should be good. The Tony Hawk one, I haven't been able to find. It just premiered on the 29th, so I don't know if I'll be able to find that anytime soon. But this one I'm a little more interested in.
Cool.
All right. Time to talk about some games that we have been playing this week. Highlights. Who wants to go first?
So I've been hinting to it because I played it. I actually played a new game this week. Foregone. At first, you're gonna think Dead Cells right from the very first. That's exactly what it
The
looks
way
like.
it's stylized.
Yeah, yes, it looks like Dead Cells, but even better graphics, better animations than Dead Cells, which is that's saying a lot.
God, I thought this was Dead Cells.
Yeah. I mean,
Is it more or less from the same developer? Or are there
No.
any cross relation with artists and or development teams?
It damn well looks like it because even the bad guys look like the same bad guys, but no, it's a different team completely, and
so it's a ripoff of Dead Cells.
pretty much. So I would say yes if it was a roguelike, but it's not. It's like a game that you play from point A to point B.
Such as Castlevania?
Not even that. Just like there's no Castlevania. You just go from left to right, and it's awesome all the way.
Castlevania, you backtrack a little bit.
A little bit. You might backtrack a little bit on this, but not too much. There's checkpoints, and I haven't played a game like this because I play so many roguelikes that like I haven't played a game that you can actually finish in so long that I got stuck on parts. And I was like, oh, this doesn't happen in roguelikes because there's not a part that you can get stuck on because it's all randomly generated, right? Mm-hmm. But I kept getting stuck at the same fucking jump or something like back to like when I was first playing video games and jumping
so
games,
this is
that
like
fucking,
Battletoads.
the fucking place.
Battletoads, classic
that
platformer
kind of
equation.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
All right.
Where like I could not get past this part, and it was that old like 15-year-old Emilio frustration. And I was like, I'm streaming. I
With
gotta
Coke
get
bottle
past this
glasses,
part.
right?
Yes.
And skinny?
Yes. Hey,
Long, greasy hair.
yes.
Beard?
No. You know the worst.
Chest hair.
You know the worst part about my Coke.
Chest hair.
Yeah, somewhat.
What came first, chest hair or beard?
I don't know. I didn't keep track.
Oh boy.
But it has a lot of roguelike type stuff. So like a bunch of different weapons drop. There's a skill tree. There's what else is there? I don't know. Just a lot of cool mechanics. But it is in early access. It's not out on Steam yet. I got it on Epic Store. $25 was a bit steep. But they don't have the 2-hour return policy, and I probably wouldn't have either. I was having a really good time with this. It's fun. And I'm glad that there's going to be an end. Like I'm going to get to the end, and that'll be the end of it. So I'm
That's
glad.
cool.
Yeah.
So they took Dead Cells and then turned it into a regular platformer.
A regular platformer.
Not a roguelite.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks better.
Is Dead Cells a roguelite?
It is.
Okay.
Roguelike.
Like or light?
Like.
So this game isn't.
off.
You can't get it on Steam yet.
No, not yet. But it does have a store page. You just can't buy it yet. I think it's a paid exclusive, probably.
Release date 2021. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, it's pretty early. Like, if I had any complaints, it would be that the controls don't feel as tight as Dead Cells.
That's a big problem for a game like this.
Yeah, but it's not that the controls are off. It's just it's a few millimeters like not as fast, and that's just how the game is. So it feels less responsive, but it's just a slower game than Dead Cells. It's really hard to get away from the comparisons because it looks so much like it, you know? And Dead Cells was a masterpiece all the way through, from marketing to how to do early access, to how to do a roguelike, to how to do graphics. And so for you to follow them and be compared to them is really hard. So good. I think they'll do fine though.
Or to cling on to the coattails of what they did really well and to monopolize on that.
Yeah, for sure. There's no reason. I mean, most art is inspired from other stuff. I'm on that boss right now. I can't beat him.
Not my kind of game. I can't play those games. I did get a chance this week. I'll just mention it real quick. I played Surgeon Simulator 2. Thank you to Demented Warlock for actually hooking that up. He had a key for that. And it was like a technical alpha, so it was only open for a few hours. I just barely had a chance to play this game. And, of course, Surgeon Simulator, the first one, big hit way back in the day. This one...
Oh, look at that Boris character.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, that's I was kind of wondering, are they just going to do more of the same? Because it's been a while since Surgeon Simulator. And they've really expanded the universe here. And the little that I was able to play, the demo did not offer very much. But the little that I was able to play, I could see how expansive it was. You actually play the character. You're walking around the facility. You're doing puzzles to open doors. You have to actually get into the surgery room to do the surgery. You can see your character, like in reflections and shadows. There is a multiplayer mode that wasn't working at the time, or no one was joining my game, but there is some sort of like multiplayer mode, and I'm not sure what all that entails, but I'm interested in that.
Are there really all those rooms?
Yeah, you have this whole facility like that, and you're walking through all of them, and you do these puzzles just to get into the rooms to do the surgery, or to open up other rooms, or to get items, or pass tests. Yeah, I can't really talk too much about the game because the actual game I didn't get to play too much of, but I can see that this is a huge, like a much bigger scope than the original Surgeon Simulator.
Hopefully they don't lose what made the first one fun, you know?
Yeah, you know what though? I do not miss those, what do they call them? The fumble core, the quad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? What were the big ones?
I always go with
Octodad.
Octodad.
Yeah.
I mean, that one was great, but
That was amazing.
I do not miss, like, it was so frustrating, like, just trying to do that mechanical ability of just moving things around and placing things. Like, I did not miss that.
Just sounds
Isn't
like
this made for VR? Like,
That's what I asked him when he gave me the key. I'm like,
Yeah.
do I need VR for this? And he said, no, you can play it regularly. It's going to be great in VR, and it will be out in VR. I believe that was said in some of their marketing, but it's probably meant to be played in VR.
Tirrell, do you play much like indie games or like AA games? Like
Me?
this level stuff?
I'm really picky when it comes to games,
Yeah.
and that's why I kind of primarily. I used to be a variety streamer, but now I primarily stick to first-person shooters.
Yeah.
So I will venture off. Like, say if I go in a hiatus, I'm like, I'm tired of playing this. I will try to venture off and see if there's something that I'll enjoy. But for the most part, yeah, I'm really picky when it comes to video games.
Well, dude, yeah, you're going to invest all your time into something like. I would play less games if I didn't have the podcast. I definitely play more games because I got to keep, talking about new things all the time. But I would still be bouncing around, like looking for that one thing that's going to Witcher 3 me,
Have you tried VR, Tirrell, at all?
I have tried it one time, and that was at the Microsoft store here out in this area at the Fashion
yeah,
Valley Mall.
Fashion Valley.
I forgot what was it, the simulator. You shoot it like a bow and arrow and whatnot, and I thought it was the coolest thing. It was on an HTC Vive, but I am looking to get a Valve Index actually, and I'm waiting for that to come back in stock. I used to, like I said, playing Counter-Strike. I had a nice little knife skin that I sold on the Steam market.
You could use that to buy an index?
Yeah. The bad thing
Whoa!
though.
But what happened?
There's a con. So if you sell something
skin was it?
on it was a knife. It was a knife skin.
What kind of knife skin?
I think a marble fade butterfly knife. It looked like a rainbow. It was a flip knife factory
That's what
mill.
I had.
So
That's what I have.
so
How much did you sell it for?
$1,043.95.
How recently?
This is back in December. I just looked this up last night with my girlfriend because I was telling her that I wanted to get the Valve Index, and she was like, "How much it costs?" Obviously, and I was like, $999, and she was like, "Huh?" And then I showed her that I just sold that knife. I got more than enough to cover the Valve
How did
Index.
you get the knife? Did you unbox it? Did
No,
you trade it?
so I used to.
Damn, dude.
He has my knife and he just sold it.
Where were you on the night of?
What? I'm so curious. These are all burning questions. I'm sure Counter-Strike.
No, I'm sure they're all
Counter-Strike playing
super
audience.
into it.
I'm counter-stricken
great
with these
story
burning
too.
questions. Yeah,
But
no,
I
of
thought
course.
I thought you couldn't spend your Steam money on hardware though, or
Oh, please don't tell me that.
Yeah, I don't think
know.
you can, man.
I hope not.
I feel like we ran into that issue.
You ran into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unless
man.
they changed it.
I
don't
hope
know.
Have
not.
you tried?
No, because they're not in stock right now. Because of the whole coronavirus that's going on right now,
yeah.
they ran out of stock prior because the Half-Life Alexis is coming out. So all the Half-Life fans are like, "Oh, let's get a Valve Index at that because it has the knuckle. You can move your fingers inside there."
Right.
So with that being said, oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
How you got the knife?
Okay, so the knife. Okay, so how I got the knife was I was gambling. I used to gamble on CS:GO. I had a friend who worked on a trade server, and I opened up a box, Autotronic factory new Crambit, and that knife was worth $3,000 back in that time.
Whoa!
However, I want to be like, whoa, okay, I got this cool knife, factory new. Let's use it and whatnot. Well, then, long story short, I ended up being a dum-dum, and I gambled that knife, and I lost it. However, I did get other stuff in the process of that. And then it came down to the end, Valve was going after all these...
Google an Autotron Crambit, because the Crambit is actually my ideal knife.
Autotronic Crambit, factory new.
So
gonna be
I love the
red.
Crambit.
I remember that.
It's
It's red
red?
and silver. It looks like a raptor claw, actually.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Pretty cool looking.
$3K.
I like how it's like,
Yeah,
Bobby.
that right there.
Oh, shit.
Bobby,
Factory
search
new.
for
Never seen
something,
that.
a bunch of words you've never heard before altogether.
It was $3K when I unboxed that thing, and then I waited, and it dropped down to being about maybe $1,500 to $2,000. So, anyways,
much is it now?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. No idea.
But a couple years ago, when I got my butterfly knife, the one that you just sold, I remember us talking about it, and the value back then was mid $600. So you actually got almost double the value of when I first originally had the knife.
So the funny thing about that, I saw that they sold one for $860 not too long ago, and then I was like, "Wow, I got this." I sold mine for. I didn't even think it was going to sell. To be honest, I just put it on there because beforehand, when I would sell items like that, I would do it on a different website because they would give you money that goes directly to your PayPal. When money goes on Steam, that's what I was talking about. When money goes on Steam, you can't take that off to go to your PayPal. It's either gift cards, and I hope I can buy the VR. If not, then that's
what I'm wondering, because you can straight up get gift cards for like Christmas or your birthday or something, and then redeem those on Steam. And it seems kind of weird you wouldn't be able to buy hardware with
you
that.
can't.
But
Yeah,
I don't know.
Pretty sure you can't. Just Google it.
I'll find out when I get an email saying the Valve Index is back in stock. So
Yeah. It's like, okay, Bobby, can you buy hardware with Steam gift cards?
Purchase anything on Steam, including games, microtransaction items, hardware,
Oh, so
and
you'll,
stuff.
Okay.
you'll have to buy the Steam. You'll have to buy the cards first and then buy.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Huh. Okay.
About to make me have a heart attack right here, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Nice.
those
You had
index.
some luck though, man.
Yeah. I was like, because I've always wanted one, but the price has been really, really steep, and I'm like, I don't want to invest in that. Like, but I also want good quality, headset, VR headset. And I was doing my research, 120. Like, I'm a competitive first-person shooter player. Like, I have a monitor that's 240 hertz FPS or like response time, refresh rate. So the Valve Index being 120, that's going to look better on your eyes and way smoother.
You're my type of gamer. Sniper did a really good job because that's awesome. I'm the worst of everything. Twitch streamer and competitive type of gamer, but like that's really cool because you're only a year older than me, and you play the same games that I play, probably, and have the same passion for that type of category, like competitive, but whether it's RTS or shooters. Very limited in terms of what games you play because you know what you like, and there's enough that's out there in the market.
Yeah,
there's stuff out there in the market that caters to us as the type of gamer. In fact, it's the most dominant of all types of gamers outside of grandma playing her microtransaction games and kids.
100%.
But I feel like it's such a niche, but the most overwhelming niche in terms of the gaming community, in terms of competitive gameplay and competitive gamers. It's funny because I don't get to talk to people a lot about not people, but in this room, the conversation is rare outside of Ray. Maybe talking to people who understand the competitive edge in terms of playing shooters and whatnot, because Bobby and Emilio, Bobby doesn't play anything that's younger than him. And then Emilio loves his roguelike games or roguelite games. So that's cool. That's awesome. Welcome to the podcast.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. You want a shot?
Oh, no, I'm good. Try to get me all loose.
What's that VR game that's supposed to be like Counter-Strike, but in VR? Ray would bring it up every now and then.
I think it starts with a P. I don't remember what it's called. It's entirely, though.
It's like two words put together. All right, Chad will remind me. But, yeah, I don't know.
Pavlov?
There we go.
Thank you, Repcycled.
Pavlov. But Chi, you had a chance to play the Valve Index. Where did this happen?
Absolutely.
Where'd you get your hands on one of these?
My little brother, I helped him purchase a Valve Index when they almost first announced it. And we had a small conversation back and forth. I was like, little brother, this is what I know about VR, but I know that you are super excited for Alex and you deserve what you want. So if you want it, go for it. And so he used my credit card and he's just slowly paying it down. So I went home this week. I went back home to Minnesota from the Midwest. And the weather was beautiful. But when I go back home, the outside of when it comes to spending time with my family, it means playing video games and board games together. And even when we're going out to eat, like we had our cell phones out trying to play Talisman with each other. And me getting yelled at because my phone is a piece of shit and it wouldn't load. But like, it's the thing, like landing with my brothers equals quality time at home. And so one night we busted out the Valve Index, and my little brother, apparently when he got his package, one of the cords was missing, and then when they sent him another cord, it ended up not being even the right cord that was compatible with the sensor.
Ooh.
And the cool thing was my little brother, he put up the sensor and it's very accurate for not even being mounted to the wall. Like when you think VR, for all the sensors, you almost think it has to be like mounted to a wall or at the right angle. My brother just nonchalantly put it up on the highest shelf of a bookshelf, and it was able to, as long as it was able to see that I was facing it with my headset and with my gloves, it was good. Unfortunately, because we're lacking that extra cable, I wasn't able to do 360 VR, but I could do a quick look over my shoulders and see behind me. But then if you go off of the sensor, the whole screen goes gray. But
so you had only 180?
No, wider than a 180, but not quite 360.
Oh, gotcha.
Luckily enough, the games that I played didn't require too much 360. Yeah, it did. But so I got to try the Valve Index. The headset itself fit very comfortably. It took a lot of fine tuning and adjustments to just make sure that but then the thing is, the headset was built to where you can fine tune and adjust it to the point there was virtually zero blur. Because when you put on a virtual headset, it's blurry, it's unfocused. You got to basically pan the headset to fit your head, and then also the spread of your eyes and the depth of your eyes as well. And the nice thing about the Valve headset is that it was set up to do that easily while you can't really see anything at all. So there's a knob in the back, there's adjustments on the side. The audio, the speakers on it were very well placed.
Yeah,
And
I like how the speakers don't press up against your ear.
Yeah, how
It's
do
a
they
nice
sound?
touch.
I was wondering
they
about
sound
that.
no, honestly, it felt no different than having headphones on. For me, it was very immersive. And the only thing my only complaint about the headset is I have a very small head, and I felt like I needed almost like a flap that goes from the bridge of the nose and underneath, because light and a sliver of space was coming from under, like right above my cheekbone. It was good because I needed to put on the controllers. My brothers really helped me out. I don't think I could ever play VR by myself because it took it almost took two people to make sure that I was set up just right. And yeah, it was really cool putting in the controller. It was very natural. And then it did sense my fingers. It was a little bit weird because my index fingers were always sticking out like straight if you don't have them resting on the triggers on the controller. So that was a little weird.
You got to get used
I
to
did
that.
a lot of flicking off in VR. Totally, which is totally appropriate. But no, I started with Beat Saber in VR. My little brother had the game, but he never really played it. So I was just doing some like low key Beat Saber stuff. And then we plugged in The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, and oh boy, what an experience to play this game in VR, because it was deceivingly realistic. So the first thing you do when you're playing this Walking Dead game is that they put you through the tutorial and you learn how to pick up a knife and pick up a gun. The cool thing about the controllers is that it, like, you grip and you release to instinctively equipped or unequipped something or to store something. The backpack was very intuitive because you would just reach over your shoulder to grab it. And then it was so intuitive. I didn't feel like I was playing a video game. I honestly felt like I was going through the motions, and there was small little growing pains of like getting the right gripping. For instance, like when you grab a knife, one of the trigger buttons, it can flip it to holding the knife vertically or horizontally, where it's like for stabbing, or you could flip the knife to where the blade faces down or blade faces up. And I just felt so cool. I honestly felt like the arms of BioShock. You know how BioShock was just amazing, how you would gain your powers and the hands were just over, you almost felt the awe of understanding your powers in the game. And that's how I felt by picking up something as simple as a knife or a gun. It was very intuitive in the point where, like, if you picked up ammo, you put it in your belt slot, and then you would grab the ammo, you could put it in the gun. And I had a revolver, and I just flicked my wrist, and it shut the barrel. That's or so whatever cool. The thing is. Yeah, and that was really, really cool. And the messed up part was like the first thing you kill in this game in the tutorial is a zombie with a bag over its head, and it's got stubs for limbs, and it's in a barrel, and all you have to do is walk up to it and stab it in the head. And I did one motion of stabbing it in the head, and the knife was stuck in its head, and it went limp in my arms, and I just like froze. I was like, I am a dirty murderer now. I've never actually physically in my life ever done a homicidal movement like that. And when I did it to the stubby zombie, Mr. Stubbs, I was like, this is way too real. This is training me to become a serial murderer or something, because it was just, it felt so real. And then with the I don't even know what the phalanges detection, where it could detect my fingers. I could grab the next zombie I did. I yanked out my knife. I grabbed the other one by the head, and I just moved the head around before I killed it, and then I stabbed it. It was just, and then I stabbed it, and I pulled it out of the barrel, and I spanked it in the ass like this. It was too fucking real.
She went from worrying about murdering the first one to violating the second one. Like, fuck, that escalated super quickly.
I regret not streaming it because, yeah, I think I was flicking it off in its asshole. But that's just... That's VR for you.
That's what happens when the rules of society break down.
It will let you take it to the next level.
Everybody getting their ass slapped.
I loved it so much. It was like way too real. It was disturbing. I felt my heart rate increase as I was going through the game. I was doing the whole, looking around corners, like actually physically looking around corners and, opening the door just so slightly creaking and then putting my hand through the creak to aim at whatever was there. It hit, like I literally felt like a survival scavenger, and it did it beautifully well.
What's the killing to scavenging ratio?
It depends on how you play, and I didn't get far. We only played through the first map, and we actually failed the first map because apparently...
Wait,
myself, and my two brothers.
But they all had vibes?
No, we would swap off. So the first time I was the first one to play because my brothers now.
But what are they playing on?
No, they're just watching me on the
okay.
computer.
So you guys are
monitor.
taking turns.
We're taking turns.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was the first one to try it out. I went through the tutorial. I got to a point where the first thing they give you is a screwdriver, and I was killing zombies, and then all weapons have durability, and so I lost my screwdriver. I had no weapon, and we had to proceed in the game, and I was like, okay, well, all right, your turn, big brother. I lost my weapon. I couldn't kill anything, and I was terrified. They start you off in a cemetery, and then you go through picking up quests and picking up items. But the thing is, you scavenge virtually the scavenger part of it. You scavenge everything because you're supposed to build. Am I even saying that right? You're supposed to craft weapons in order to really survive through this game. You can't just like pick up, go, and shoot. It's more strategic, and it's more, in my opinion, I think like Fallout bench than anything than just going out there and killing zombies. And the thing is, my brothers, when they first played this, they met their first zombie and they both died because all they had was a knife. They only had their knife out, even though they could have shot the zombie. And they had to stab the zombie probably 4 or 5 times to not kill it. Whereas I was just jamming a screwdriver in their head and they were dying. So it was very realistic.
It really matters where you hit them.
Yeah. And they honestly, as soon as a zombie grabbed one of them, if they didn't shake them off right away, they died. So the realism in this game is on point in terms of and then I was sneaking around all the zombies, and then I would wait until almost point blank to shoot a zombie. So the killing part I was really good at. Counter-Strike trained me well. But and then what's amazing about this is that every little thing you could pick up, you put away. Like I said, it's very intuitive. You pick up quests, and you have to move fast. It's very unforgiving because there's a timer, and if the timer goes off, you basically run out of anything to do in that area, and you have to take the boat and either move on, I believe, or just restart. We just got to that point where it's like, okay, we can't hand in the quests, but we finished the quests. We just took too damn long. Let's go ahead and restart.
Now,
when you die, you drop your backpack like in DayZ, and you have to run back to your body and pick it up.
Now, before you played this, you wanted an index, and now is that higher or lower than it previously was?
Oh, it's higher,
Yeah.
but I know that my little brother has one, so it's hard for me. I would rather just buy plane tickets home to go hang out with my brothers.
Oh.
Yeah, to go hang out with my brothers, than to just have my own index. I loved the index though, and it was well constructed. Minor complaints. If anything was glitchy, like once you understood that the small variables of like what you needed to do, like I wanted to sheath my knife, but I had to regrip and then release instead of just release where I needed to release
Did you stab yourself in the spleen?
The game doesn't let you.
Actually,
my big brother, when he first put on the headset, the first thing when he was learning how to use it, the first thing he tried to do was perform seppuku or whatever that thing is. Seppuku?
Yeah, did it work?
No, it did not. But no, it was awesome. And the great thing about playing The Walking Dead with somebody else and trading off headsets is that you take so much time paying attention to every little detail that you actually not necessarily get sick, but it's exhausting. The zombie apocalypse in VR is exhausting. And I was happy because I was sweating. My heart, my heart was palpitating. I was ready to take off the headset and just pass it on. It was too real.
Actually, I'm
way
sold.
too real. It is so amazing.
Would this game be any good if it wasn't in VR? Like, would it be worth playing if it wasn't in
Yeah,
VR?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. In fact, I think my brother, he touched the mouse and he was shooting the gun, not on purpose. But I think, like, if you're really stuck and can't get through something, this is it, where you grab the shiv, you go to the walkers, and you kill them. And it's just a helpless zombie, literally, bag over his head. And this moment, the first zombie kill I got, okay, that was a weak ass stab. I went hard. See, look, he's not even dead. I went, no, holy shit, I must be a really good stabber. I got that zombie in one fucking swipe. This guy took 4. No wonder why my brothers didn't kill the zombies. They don't know how to stab.
It looks like a bunch of my ex-girlfriends. They just put bags over their heads.
No, you're stabbing them with shivs, not the other thing. Not. Oh my gosh.
All right.
It's like a Capri Sun. All right.
No, honestly, yeah. So I guess I'm really good at stabbing. So don't. But
Don't fuck with Chi.
exactly.
It's a humble brag there.
But no, here's the thing though. It was really cool. One of my favorite things that happened when I was playing this game was I had to scale a building. I had to climb the gutters, and I had to do a little bit of Prince Persia on the wall, like Prince of Persia. Sorry, like I with the thing I gripped, and it was very
Somebody clip
realistic.
that.
And then I and then I had to shimmy over, and then I had to vault over the window, and it was all epic. It was all epic.
Then I had to stab 2 zombies.
I did actually.
like,
That's the thing you can do. Emilio.
Okay. All right. All right.
Who's the call-in for today?
I can't wait to throw like
Oh,
a
we're not there
grenade or
yet.
something like that. That would be.
Exciting. Yeah, you should be
Guys,
streaming that game.
Like I can tell you, the index is worth every single freaking dollar, even without having
They've been
the,
out of
the
stock
pool
for
of games.
so long, though.
The pool
Yes.
of games that
been
that
months.
because there is no other fucking vessel that would give you the feeling of murdering something other than VR. Not the best way to sell this, but I will tell.
Okay.
Stab and spank, VR.
All right. Well, I'm sure there's some people out there that are looking for that murder simulator. So, okay. I played another game this week, and I'll talk briefly about it because I know no one wants to hear about it. But American McGee's Alice. So this is an old one, right? Like you may have played Alice Madness Returns back in 2011. This was the original one. American McGee. So he's a famous game developer because he was part of id back in the day. I think Doom 2, he joined the team, worked with John Carmack, John Romero on some very big games back in the 90s, and he was really good. Like he was really good at it, which is why they brought him on the team, and he went on to go create his own stuff. And his first big game was this one, American McGee's Alice, and I've always wanted to go back and play this. Obviously now this game looks terrible. Like the graphics are not that great, doesn't hold up very well. It's kind of a 3D adventure game, some puzzles, but also some combat as well.
Did you play it then, Bobby?
No, not this one.
Oh, okay.
I played Alice Madness Returns, which is the sequel. It's a little newer, and I'd probably recommend that one. This game you can find for free. It's on myabandonware.net.
I hope so. I hope you didn't pay for this.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of games, I guess, just they end up on that website. Star Wars Rebellion is on there when people don't care if you pirate them or not. So they just put them on a website where you can download them for free. But the game actually, it does feel very dated. I'm totally used to that. Aside from that, yeah, the level design is good and the game is fun. I like being in the world of Alice in Wonderland. The story is Alice, it takes place after Alice in Wonderland. She's in a psychiatric institution. She gets called back to Wonderland and it's all messed up. Like something's going on. Everything, the whole world is befouled and you've got to make it right. So all the characters that you see are there, but it's got this really weird kind of creepy vibe to it. And what really stuck out to me about this game is the music. The music was so good. It was very Danny Elfman, like Nightmare Before Christmas almost. I'll play a little bit of it. I don't know if this guy's got his music turned on, but maybe he doesn't. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of it in the background. But, you know, it's Alice in Wonderland, which is like kind of a weird, twisted fantasy world.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that part of it. I don't know if I'm going to get all the way through this one. I don't know if it's worth playing all the way through.
God, I hope not.
I think Alice right here, her with the knife just running straight forward at everything was my. This is the
That's
spirit
your
animal of
strategy.
me in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, you start out with the knife, and the combat is really rough. I mean, until you get the projectile weapons, it's pretty tough. But I did
Just the
enjoy
combat, Bobby. Just the combat's rough.
I mean, dude, this was 2000, or
I know,
2001.
I know.
This is how games looked back then.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't
they,
mean we have to play the.
they all kind of handle weird, but hey, I can play this in 1440p, so that's
Nice.
impressive. Yeah. And the Cheshire Cat, whoever did the voice acting on him did a fantastic job. Let me back up here. I'll play a little bit of what
That guy's
he's...
probably dead now.
The proper order of things is often a mystery to me. You too?
He sounds like that's how a cat would sound, right? A sneaky cat. Yeah. So I don't know.
too? Meow too.
This game, when it comes to like old games, like this is probably not one I could recommend. Like 13, yeah, go back and play that game. That game's great. This game, maybe not so much. Maybe check out Madness Returns.
Psychonauts is like
This
a
is
better
what,
version of this.
2000? Y2K? You
Yep,
said?
2000. You know,
So this is before World of Warcraft.
yeah, a couple years before it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though. When I started playing this game, you got a Pixel, right, Emilio?
What?
A phone Pixel?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you noticed that Google is like putting these little images in your Google search bar at the bottom? During like leap year, they had that little 29 pop out from the Google logo.
No, just from going like google.com.
No. If you do you have that little bar at the bottom of
Yeah,
your
I
phone
do.
right
Uh-huh.
there? Yeah. Have you noticed from that little G, like little images popping out there?
No.
Really? Okay. Like, maybe it's just my phone. I got a Pixel too, but they.
I'm also oblivious and old as shit.
Yeah,
So-
maybe you don't notice. But one day I was looking at my phone and I noticed like an image like popping out, and it was a Cheshire Cat. I'm like, oh, what's that about? And then I click on it and it takes me to Google's site. And you know how they do that like different graphic, like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's so and so's birthday, the guy who invented the lawnmower or some shit.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, cool. You know, well, it was the Sir John Tenniel, I think his name was, the guy
Who wrote it?
No, that's
Don't
Lewis
you love how
Carroll.
Google clickbait is history? It's
Yeah.
it's a
Well, you learn a little
educational
something.
lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was the guy who illustrated the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who did all the drawings. And the drawings are very, I don't know, there's something very creepy about the illustrations and even the book itself. Even though, like, growing up with Alice in Wonderland, it was always more of like we remember the cartoon, the Disney cartoon, and I feel like they kind of shave off the creepiness of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like there's something innately creepy about Alice in Wonderland.
Of course, it's super fucking weird. Oh, I just saw Spirited Away. Have you seen it, Bobby?
You've never seen that before?
No, I just saw it for the first
okay.
time last night. And
Shout
I
out
don't,
to Sam. She's watching
Oh,
us.
is she watching?
Awesome.
I don't know what she was expecting or what we were expecting, but like it's an Alice in Wonderland type movie, right? I mean,
Yeah,
very,
it
very
goes to
similar.
a fantasy world.
Yeah, and it's not what I expected at all. I was waiting for to get blown away. It was good, good-ish, but definitely
I was so confused the first time I saw it.
I wouldn't say it was great, like a great movie, but it's known as like one of the best animes
I
ever.
mean, Miyazaki in general, the guy
What
who made
movie?
that
Yeah.
movie.
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
one
good.
of his earlier ones, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. The first time I saw it, I was very confused, but after watching it again, I think I kind of understood it a little more. The first time I watched it, though, I didn't have subtitles and it was in Japanese, so needless to say, I was very lost. But anyway,
now
yeah.
I got to think about whether or not Sam came in before or after I was talking about putting bags over my girlfriend's heads. No, that's right. Sam's my girlfriend. She's upstairs. She has weaponry up there.
And she's saying in chat that, yeah, her Pixel does that. Yep. See, I wasn't just seeing things. You know what, though? I was watching, shout out to TLC. They had a really great series in the early 90s called Great Books.
I was thinking Crazy Sexy Cool.
No. No, I'm talking about the Learning Channel.
I'm telling
Not
you,
Waterfalls.
we're having two different brainwave waves.
No, but yeah.
I'm kidding.
But they had this series called Great Books, and they'd take one book and just kind of go deep dive into each one. And they did Alice in Wonderland. And oh my God, dude, the guy who wrote that, total weirdo. I mean,
yeah, dude, it's a fucking super weird movie.
Okay,
what are you not getting?
No, but
somebody who's doing a lot of drugs or having some sort of mental.
this guy,
break?
He's from the UK.
Yeah.
And he was probably very well-to-do because he had a lot of money. He was really into photography back then. Mid 1800s, late 1800s, probably very expensive habit. But he was really into photographing very young girls in the nude.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was known for just being so suave or debonair or likable that he would talk the parents into it and they'd be totally cool with it. And he was particularly
Gross.
fascinated with one little girl named Alice Liddell. And that's who they think the book is based off. And then one day, just completely loses interest, doesn't want to do photography anymore at all, like just drops it. And this is like the only book he wrote, this and Through the Looking Glass. And then he did some poetry and stuff. But yeah.
What a strange.
Yeah, and if you look at the illustrations, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me seeing it weird, but they look very phallic. Like there's just something very sexual about it. I don't know. It's a weird situation, man. It's kind of like a Michael Jackson thing.
All right.
I don't know.
How many times did you beat off to this game?
0. All right. Yeah, so Alice in Wonderland.
No.
Okay.
No, what is it called? It's not called.
I don't know, but I want to
American-
murder something in the room right now.
American
after
McGee's Alice.
this fucking weird ass creepy turn. Jeebus.
Let's go back to Apex Legends.
Is
Well, you've been
that
playing.
guy that is behind what's his name? Is
The
he a
guy who
zombie
wrote the
now?
book?
Can I stab
Lewis
him in the
Carroll?
head
Yes.
over and
Yeah.
over?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how long has season 4 been out?
Oh, season 4, Apex Legends, about a month now or so. I can't remember the exact date that season 4 was dropped, but they're doing something special this season, unlike from the last 2 seasons, season 3, season 2, and season 1. They're doing a split now on the ranked, even on the public. They have 2 different maps. They have Kings Canyon, which is the old school map. OGs know this, who play Apex Legends. And then you also have the new one now. I can't even think of the name right now. It has a giant harvester on there. Do you remember the name of the map?
No, I played for one day.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the map, but I know all the different places on the map. But what they're doing is they're doing a split. So I want to say I got till next week to get up to Masters. Right now I'm D3. It's kind of hard to find squads, trying to push
What's
up the
D3?
rank.
What does that
Diamond
mean?
3. So you have there's a rank system for those of you who have not played Apex Legends.
I'll
and wondering
introduce you to
about
my
that.
little brother. He's actually crazy good at this game. It's insane.
So have you ever played a game, League of Legends or like
Bronze,
Overwatch or anything like that? So the ranking system is pretty much similar. It goes from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then now they introduce, instead of it going to Predator, you go to Master, and then the top 500 in the world will actually get the Predator spot. So they changed up the whole season. Last season I got Predator. This season I'm working my way back up to Masters, and then if I have enough time, I can possibly try to get to a top 500
Damn, you got
spot.
the Predators last year.
Yeah,
Which is
so-
equivalent
Pretty
to
cool.
Masters.
So right now it's
Right.
yep, 100%.
Gotcha.
So this next split, because I did take a 1 week hiatus while I was trying to find different things to do, mental release,
Yeah.
just calm down a little bit. This next split that's coming up is going to be around, I think, the next week.
The
Who's
next
your main
split?
in Apex?
I am a support main, so I used to be Lifeline, and then now I'm kind of like a feather in the wind. I'll
What's your
play.
best Lifeline voice?
What?
Now you got me on the spot. I can't even think of it. Call me now. Oh no. That's wrong. I'm thinking of Miss Cleo right now. Call me now for your free fortune telling. So yeah,
Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, Lifeline used to be my main, but now I can safely say I'm a Watson main, especially for scrims, the competitive side.
That's weird.
So, yeah, I'm an older guy. I'm not a boomer just yet by definition, but just because I'm older,
No, our parents are boomers. Not even these guys are boomers.
so my so playing the support role as Watson, it's like everyone always wants to play Wraith, which is like one of the most popular characters, Wraith or Pathfinder. So instead of always trying to compete with everybody who's always wanted to play Path or Wraith, I was like, who's not playing the other characters, which would be Lifeline, Watson, and now Gibraltar because of the giant buff that they just did to him. So it was like, okay, I can play one of these characters that'll be beneficial for the team and then play how the team, needs me to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have a solid squad, But every time I do play, I'm usually playing support main. I'm playing either Watson, Gibraltar, Lifeline.
What happened to your old squad?
Trying to
Pat.
be useful.
So they, man, okay, so the competitive scene, whew.
See, I'm
It
related
is-
to my squad. So.
It is brutal. So the very first season, they used to do scrims, and it would start from 4. Okay, so I start streaming at 10 a.m. in the morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So scrims wouldn't start until 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the scrims wouldn't end till 9 or 10 o'clock at my time.
Right.
So imagine me sitting
12
at my
hours,
computer
so, yeah.
from 10 a.m. all the way starting from 4 to freaking 9
Sounds
or
like
10.
the life to me.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, and occasionally Saturday and Sunday. Like, no, I have a life, unfortunately, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, life.
So, like, if I had no life, I would grind. I would do what I have to do, but
Yeah.
I have to take care of priorities. So, with that being said, they were like, "Yo, this is too much time. I can't do it." And I was like, I don't blame you.
Oh,
Like
okay.
real life comes first. So one person broke off. Then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll break off here too. And he broke off. And then now it's like, okay, you can still solo queue. You can solo queue in ranked. And you can get the diamond easily, especially if you have some type of like first person shooter knowledge.
Yeah.
You can definitely solo queue to diamond 4 easily. From diamond 4 on up, that's where it's like, good luck, Chuck.
Yeah.
It's you need a squad. So.
That's where, Elo hell starts
Yep.
right around there. Gotcha. So I'm sure you'll get a squad, man.
Oh, yeah,
especially
100%.
If you're always trying to fill the gap of what the team needs. Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like this whole squad thing is because I stream early, so by the time I'm about to get off, then all the people that I know get on. So
question
it's
is,
this time difference that is the
If
issue.
you can have your dream squad, who would they be and why?
A dream squad? Well, I can't really say like, oh, let me grab such and such or such and such
Shroud?
and be them. Yeah, let me grab Shroud or like. You know what? I've never really thought about that because it's always about just like, okay, who's here in front of me and who can we vibe off of and.
Well, what did you like about the squad that you had and going into finding a new squad? What's important to you and your play style and
So-
finding the right fit?
So it's about being being on. If you're gonna be on at a certain time, say you're gonna be on and you're gonna actually be there and be ready, not be like, hey, let me go over here. Let me go over here. Like we got practice at 3 o'clock. Get on at 3 o'clock. If you're here at freaking 4
The
o'clock.
word of the day is consistency.
Consistency. It's like SpongeBob and imagination. It's not real with me. It's
100% consistency. If you say you're gonna do it at that time, and then be able to take constructive criticism because like everyone,
Constructive.
like we're all human. We all make mistakes, but then sometimes some people, especially I don't know why it seems this way, but in the gaming community, even older people, you would think. If you tell them something and you tell them with tact, because there's certain people that you got to
for
talk
sure.
to people.
boomers are the most stubborn of all.
So yeah, when you explain to them and they get upset, you can't have that. You got to be able to accept constructive criticism and always trying to be better than you were beforehand.
It's like, dude, are you perfect? If the answer is no, do you want to get better? This might help you. or
Exactly.
whatever.
I don't know. I like squad mates that let me yell at them and then we just get over it.
Yeah. She plays so that she get angry.
I play very therapeutically.
Yeah. If it was a terrible day, time to play some CS.
Time to stab some zombies.
Oh man.
Yeah, but for the
So
most
anyway,
part.
do you? Is this the best season so far?
For me, so that's the thing. There's a lot of people. I'm pretty active on Twitter, especially in the Apex community, and I don't like. People have been crying about skill-based matchmaking. Personally, I was always solo queuing, just talking to my chat, playing with music in the background, just BSing, and I never had an issue with like if I die on stream, I don't care. I'm human, Some people say when they die on stream, it's like it's the end of the world, the end of the life, and then they start raging and throwing stuff.
Right.
I can understand Doctor Disrespect, it's persona,
Right,
but then
right,
you got other people who are just like going. Excuse my language, batshit crazy.
Those are my guys.
on freaking stream, and I'm
My
like,
type of gamers.
holy
Whoa,
crap.
Bat shit.
Tyler
Cross the
won.
lines.
Tyler won.
Yeah, so see, he's funny. Like he rages, but it's like I don't think
part
he's
of the
actually.
thing.
Yeah, it's like that's not him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's just him.
Yeah.
What he's doing.
Some of it's probably real, but it's like he he makes it bigger than it
Yeah.
is.
Play it
100%.
up, yeah.
100%.
But no, that's awesome. So, what's your goal with this particular season? Just finding a squad.
So
where do you see yourself? Like, where do you actually see yourself hitting in terms of MMR? Is that a thing?
Yeah. So MMR, MMR RP. So they call it RP in Apex Legends. So RP, I would like to get top 500. I'm not going to be able to do it now on this current map that's showing on the screen.
But to set yourself
the next
up.
map, for Kings Canyon, me trying to grind out until finding a squad, grinding out, playing with people consistently. Then I might be ready to have a full squad to go, balls to the wall when Kings Canyon's drop ranked. And then push for that top 500 spot. So top 500 is definitely doable. It's just about having the time and trying to find the right people and having the mental capacity of wanting, because it's not fun. If I'm sitting there and streaming and I have to sit in Discord and look and wait 30 minutes or 40 minutes to find a squad, then it's like now I'm wasting all my viewers' time. For I feel like I'm wasting. Maybe they'll sit there and still watch me, but I feel like I'm not being like entertaining at all. I'm sitting here wasting your time while I'm sitting here looking for a squad.
There are little tiny games you could play in between. Like Bobby brings up Slay the Spire sometimes, where it's like a game where it's turn-based. So you can jump away. Like while you're in queue or while you're waiting for things, you can go play a little, like the little shitty games we've been talking about. You can go and play them, especially a turn-based one. And just for something you could do meanwhile. Yeah. And then when your queue pops, you just pop all over and then... that's just a suggestion.
That's a good idea.
For me,
I'll suggest some games for you. Some of our shitty little double A.
I'd be down. I was thinking about turning on OSU or something to keep my aim fresh or something. But it's like it's that whole waiting, looking for a group and waiting while you are live. That's the part. That's
a watch pot.
Just start doing push-ups.
Yeah, right.
Fucking do a plank session.
Well, now the thing, what I just did was before I came here, I actually just downloaded like 3 hours worth of memes. So I just put a whole bunch of memes on my stream deck. So now if I'm sitting there waiting, I got little things, to keep the stream active and people be like, what's going on right now? 100%.
But when you have a squad, it'll just be game.
Yeah,
game,
you have a
right?
squad, it's queue after queue after queue, and it's so much faster.
You just got to find a West Coast squad with your time. With your hours.
But it's hard. Me be 10 a.m. in the morning while everyone else is working. It's really hard.
Gamers don't wake up that early.
And then, and that's the thing too. Like when it comes to those type of moments where there's some lull time on the stream and whatnot. For me, my tagline, my go-to excuse is I'm a gamer first, streamer second. So if I'm not fucking doing anything that makes you want to watch me, I said, then go do your own thing. I'm doing my own thing. I'd it's hard enough for me to even turn on the camera. So you like literally like it's if there's it's me at my most when you see me on stream, that's me. I might drink a little bit more alcohol or caffeine to try to keep up with chat, but what you get is what you see is what you get, unfortunately.
All right. So I think we got our caller on the line here. We'll jump in with him, and he's got a shot to win $35 here. I think the prize.
Has anyone won
up
yet?
No.
Does anyone know what's in the bag?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. I feel like the cat's out of the bag, if you'll excuse the pun.
Yeah, like people are DMing us.
Yeah,
the right
so many people. I had a few people.
Well, how many hints were out there?
One hint. But they've honed in. They figured it out. So
let's find that.
We're going to switch it up here this week. Let's bring our caller in. Hey, Scram, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Hi,
perfect.
Scram. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we're going to do it a little differently this week. And whoop, almost dropped the keyboard. So instead of doing the other questions, we decided we're just going to play the audio clips here. So we're going to give you one music file, and we're going to give you one sound effect.
Hey, Scram.
All right.
Scram, how long have you been listening?
I started listening right as Minnie came on the podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, Minnie just joined us in chat on Twitch. So. Don't tell me he was your favorite caster.
So that's like 2 years ago.
Well,
you can't put
Minnie always gets shit on. He was fucking great. Did we ever talk about a game that you bought because we talked about it and
absolutely the Deep Rock Galactic that way?
Yeah, of course.
Worms.
Awesome. Yeah, playing that 8-player, right?
Yeah. um. Oh. Guacamelee picked up
Oh,
that one
nice.
as well.
Cool. Did you play 1 or 2?
I beat 1. And I'm in the process of playing 2 right now.
Yeah.
Nice, man. They're solid games.
Did you pick up any Insidious with that guacamole?
Oh yeah.
Nice, dude.
Hey,
thanks,
way to go,
thanks for the
Scram.
support.
No, good for you. There you go.
Cool, man. You ready to win some money?
Let's try this.
All right, so these are the questions not for money. You'll get a shot at the money in a minute here, but I'm going to play. Let's start out with music here. Can you tell us what game this is from? Oh, that's too easy. You want a hard one, an easy one, or a medium one? I'll give you an option here.
Let's go for the medium.
Medium? Okay, fair enough. We were way too hard on Warconius last week.
Dude.
Oh, Warco was on last
Port-
week? I'm sorry I
yeah.
missed you, Warco.
All right.
I'll see you at next DLG Con, by the way.
Okay, I'd say this one's medium. Maybe easy.
Oh, jeez, dude. Easiest ever.
You never know. I've been very surprised.
Oh,
All right. You got a guess? Or you want to hear more?
just a little bit more. I thought that. That is from Portal 2.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Give him the buzzer. Give him the buzzer. That would be
Oh,
Portal
man.
1, sir.
You know what? We got to give him that.
So close.
No, we don't.
Oh,
Really?
boy. The kid can't hit the curve.
Why did you throw the 2 in there? Just say Portal.
I should have.
Yeah.
You know what, though? What was the song in
This is
Portal
what you
2?
get for having Minnie as your favorite.
There was a song in Portal 2. It was very close, but that is the one from Portal 1.
Yeah.
The one from the second one, I mean, it sounds the same. It's GLaDOS singing.
Even if you would have timed your answer, if you would have said Portal, comma, 2, like Portal,
Portal.
you would have said, yes, you're right, before you even said 2, you'd be like,
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to play a
Easy as
sound
cake,
effect
says Mr.
here.
Redrum.
It's hard for me to ask you or it's hard for me to give you an easy, medium, or difficult one because it really depends on the games that you've played. Like I can make a guess here, but why don't you tell me easy,
Can
medium,
I
or
pick it?
hard?
How about I pick it?
Let's keep going with medium.
Medium. All right, Chi, you want to pick it here with the arrow
Well,
keys?
I don't know what was on last week.
We've moved those into a separate folder,
Was
so
this one
everything.
on
No,
last
it
week?
wasn't. Nope.
This one's a medium.
Okay, I think this is a medium.
Totally.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Not sure how your
Oh,
French
gosh.
is.
I
Play it one more time
don't
here.
have a clue.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
I'm better at this than I thought I was.
We played a lot of games.
Yeah, it's true. This is a huge game, dude. AAA.
Yeah, she's speaking French. That's kind of a
Yeah, so I think I'm trying to think of how to pronounce it. I have that on my wish list if it's what I'm thinking. It's that the Noir Automata or whatever that.
Oh.
Near Automata. No.
Nier Automata?
No, I'm sorry.
Give me a
No,
double
I don't
buzzer.
know.
Well, let me give you a hint here. So in French, that means no one escapes my sight. Any idea what that might be?
Like a
Like maybe a sniper.
sniper.
It'd be hard to escape a
assassin.
sniper's sight.
Maybe she's blue.
I thought she was purple.
She is kind of blue. She has a purple outfit.
No, I don't have a clue on that one.
Overwatch, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
see,
is
and I'm
window
not
maker.
I'm not a
First
big
person shooter.
multiplayer
Gotcha.
gamer.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You never know what
Yeah.
people haven't played.
Yeah.
Warconius hasn't played Bioshock Infinite 3 or Bioshock 3 Infinite.
Yeah.
So Scram, what are your go-tos? What are some of the staple games when people ask you
Single
what kind
player
of gamer you are?
RPGs, Metroidvanias, roguelikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Likes or
Can we get the
lights?
spelling on that? On
Right.
What'd you think of?
Butchered it before.
What'd you think of the game that I reviewed? Did you check it out? What the fuck was it called? God damn it!
The
Curse of the
Forger?
Dead
No,
Gods.
just kidding.
Curse of the Gods. Good.
No.
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh, you're
I
talking
did
about
not-
Foregone.
Foregone. Did you take a look at Foregone?
No, not yet.
That
I
might be.
saw that you
Yeah,
listed
take a look at it,
but
man.
I've
I think
not
you might like it.
taken a look at it yet.
All right, now this is for all the big bucks.
Foregone, the
All
Force
right.
game.
$35 whole dollars, dude. American dollars, not Canadian. Don't get it twisted.
USD. All right.
All
What
right.
is
Well,
that?
if it's what I think it is, it's from my favorite game series of all time, but I already butchered that once today. I think it's the Sentry Turret from Portal.
That is
You
correct.
got it, dude.
Hey!
Need a
I
little
didn't throw
applause
the
button.
Portal 2 out there this time.
Nice, dude. Because people messaged me that they thought it was Portal 2, which is probably the same soundtrack.
Where is it? Can we
It's
get the
probably the
bag? Can
same.
we rip it open?
Yeah. Oh, I think the bag's right next to you there.
Tirrell, would you do the honors
Yeah.
of what's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring that on out here. So this, where did we even get this?
Pull it on out.
Chad got this.
Yeah, you
right?
can pull it out now.
All right.
Yeah.
Boom. There it is.
Ohio.
Now, you can choose the money, or you can choose this sweet plush action figure.
Oh my God. You do not want that action figure. That's probably patient zero coronavirus right there. That thing has been around.
That action figure is pretty awesome. But I was talking with JP Diddy before coming in here, and he said that if I threw that money back into the DLG
Pot.
house,
Yeah.
that he'd match it.
Oh, shit.
Really? Okay.
Oh,
Damn.
So I'm going to throw this. I can't be there. I'm in Dallas, so it's a bit of a travel for me. But
Yeah.
I'm going to throw that money back into the
Damn,
DLG
dude.
house.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
That really helps us out. Thank you, too, JP. Thank you so much.
oh wow, Scram. Why
Next-
can't you make it out this
Oh.
way?
Just family. I got 3
Oh.
kids, and
Yeah.
trying to get out there for the weekend is not doable for me.
Did you heard that we're going to have strippers and
And cribs and bunk beds.
Well,
The
if
crib's
that's the
already
case.
so
taken.
bring the whole family.
So you're in
The
Dallas. Have
strippers,
you
of
ever
course.
been? Have you ever been to QuakeCon?
I've not.
Oh, okay. I made it out there one time. It was a blast, but
Bobby's just flossing on you that he can travel for gaming and you can't. That's what he just did.
no.
He's
no.
like, boo-hoo. Too
No,
bad,
I
so
get it.
sad.
I am not a traveler. Like it's
true.
It's difficult. It's expensive, but that's incredibly generous of you, and thank you so much for doing that, man. And congratulations. We need to come up with a new sound for next week. We have to figure out something new, but
Well, we have something, right?
yeah, we do. We'll play it next
Can
week.
we give
Okay,
him
we'll play it
something?
next
If
week.
he's not going to take the money, can we give him something?
Yeah, we'll send them
A postcard or something or another.
I'll talk to him.
Talk to Sniper
Yeah,
first.
We'll hook him up.
Yeah, we'll hook him up.
We have a
Thank y'all
sniper
very
reaching
much.
out to you
Keep
soon,
the great
Scram.
podcast going.
Hey,
Thanks,
man.
dude. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. Thanks for the
Scram.
support.
All right, see ya.
You get a kiss from Minnie.
You don't want to kiss with Minnie.
Oh boy.
I passed on that too.
All right. Well, it's they found out what it was. And that went so $35, $5 a week. How long did that go for? A month and
6.
2 weeks? 6 weeks?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Is my math right, or is that 7?
No, I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 weeks. That's a good run. This new one, I want to say our new sound that we play next week is going to be easier.
7.
That was not that
But
hard.
it starts at $5. Then it goes
Oh,
up.
right.
Yeah. But still, that's a good run.
Cool.
Sorry, that's me. I've been messing with the mic. I'm sorry.
All right. So I guess
Where
let's
you
talk a
going,
little
Chi?
news now.
Can I get some?
Oh, yeah. My shot right there. The backup shot.
This one
Oh,
right
okay.
here.
Butterflies. I don't know. It's the first word that came. I don't like dead air. First thing that came to my mind.
Okay. First news article here. This is from Ars Technica. It says GOG asks you to please not abuse its expansive new 30-day refund policy. So, GOG, retailer of games known for just putting the customer first, they have this new policy where you can refund a game up to 30 days. And I guess it doesn't matter how much you've played it. Now, they did say that they will be monitoring for people who are abusing this.
You're gonna
Yeah.
abuse
It was
that.
my first thought, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
crazy.
man.
A whole month with a game
Yeah.
because you could beat a game in that amount of time. You could.
The problem is nobody asked for this. Like they went above and beyond. They could have
Yeah.
done 15 days and everybody would have been happy. I feel like that's
That's what everyone
extreme.
else does. So the standard is 14 days, and Steam also does 2 hours play.
yeah.
2
So
hours.
14
And I
days
used
or 2
I
hours.
abuse the fuck out of that, but I feel like I'm not abusing it. Like games that don't have demos, especially because I have the podcast. I play games for 2 hours. I get a pretty good solid feel for them, and then I return them if I don't think that I'm going to play them again, which is a lot of games now. I'm glad that it's there, and I'm glad that they do
Yeah.
it. This
Well,
just
here's,
seems right
here's the
for
other
picking.
thing too about this that is kind of sketchy is they don't have any DRM. GOG does not use DRM on any of their games, so it's possible you could buy the game,
Crack
create a
it.
copy of it,
Yeah.
and then return it and still be able to play it. So
Damn.
I don't know, but they're very well aware that a lot of people still pirate games. So I think they're just kind of like, you know what? Like Gabe Newell said way back in the day in an interview when he was trying to get Steam into Russia, he said piracy is a service problem. And I think that's how they're approaching this. And hopefully it works for them. I don't think they sell nearly as much games as Steam anyway. Yeah. So, it's not going to be a huge...
It's probably not even 10%, honestly.
Yeah.
It's probably like in the 5%. And you know what? Every time I hear something from GOG, I like them more and more and more. And I just don't use them. I don't know what it is, And they have that launcher, right?
Yeah,
so
which is
like,
great. Yeah.
Whatever game you have, you can put it on GOG and it'll launch the game. I need this anyway. I'm gonna look into GOG this week. That's my homework.
They really just put the customer first in everything that they do. Plus, it's the Witcher guys, right? That's their retail store.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never even heard of GOG before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good old games.
So CG Project Red owns GOG?
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
I don't know if I knew that.
They grew up in Poland, and they grew up in communist Poland where video games are actually illegal. So the only way they ever even got to play video games was by pirating them. So to them, like piracy and gaming was like hand in hand. They didn't even see it as a crime. And then later, when capitalism came, then they kind of kind of adjusted towards that. But you can see that in everything that they do. Like they have just a really open stance, I guess, when it comes to selling these games.
That reminds me of the War of Us.
This War of Mine.
This War of Mine.
Yeah.
They were like, if you want to steal this game, if you can't afford it, just steal it. Here's the link. Like straight up. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Why doesn't Photoshop do that?
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. So that's crazy. We'll see how it works out for them. But I don't know. With, you got Steam and then you got Epic Games making a play for the, their whole storefront. And but I feel like GOG is where it's at. I've started buying more games through them, honestly.
Just to support them, kind of?
No, I go wherever it's cheapest, honestly. And a lot of times it is GOG. Plus the whole DRM thing, like it just runs so cleanly. We talked a few weeks ago about that game where they removed the DRM and it ran like 25% faster. Yeah. The de novo, like that really messes up a game. Okay, next up. So we've got a lot of coronavirus news here. Like everywhere you look, it's affecting everything and video games as well.
It's affecting how people react to me, actually, especially
recently
traveled. Yeah, recently traveled.
What if you were way off base? It wasn't that public. She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Or even at work, at work, I'm very enthusiastic, extroverted. So, so I see people never had this, but happened before. But people start.
Dang.
Yeah. Like my breath might contaminate them, and very possibly, since
Wow.
But no, yeah.
All right. Well, the news articles here that we have regarding this are, first of all, GDC 2020 was postponed. It got pushed back towards summer. They're still going to upload content on YouTube, and it's kind of weird. It's almost like they're splitting it. Like if people want to upload their content, their presentations to YouTube, they'll put it on there. But then they're also going to have the convention in summer. Just because a lot of people pulled out. Epic, Unity, Blizzard, all pulled out of this.
So my only question on this is, was it in China? Is that where it was supposed
GDC?
to be?
No, that's out here, isn't it?
So it's just because it was a convention. Too many people getting together.
Traveling is a pain in the ass right now, dude. Like it's so hard to travel right now.
One championship, which is the UFC of Asia, they shut down all their fights. There's no fights going on. Like, could you imagine a UFC shutting down like all their That'd be major.
Yeah. The other article says Valve will sell far fewer Index VR headsets due to coronavirus outbreak. So it's affecting the production. A lot of these electronic devices, Apple as well, they manufacture a lot over there. Right. So it's really affecting the production.
Yes, I think Samsung too.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first two cases in San Diego County were at the site where I'm at, the campus, UCSD.
Yeah.
Because there's so many Chinese students, they flew in. And now, the last update I got, 141 people are being investigated right now, or It says investigated. That's the word that they used to see if they have coronavirus. It's fucked up because like you can get it, you can give it out before you even know you have it. It's one of those sneaky motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, this isn't on here, but it's affecting the sales of Corona beer.
So weird, man. Yeah. Yeah, 38% down, dude. 38%.
Wow.
Well, wasn't it a poll? We should really pull the article up, but didn't they say they interviewed people and like 38% of people said they wouldn't drink Corona beer because they thought it might be related to the coronavirus?
And the other thing I saw was like
The only thing sickening is that level of ignorance.
it said these are the same people that think chocolate milk comes from brown cows.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's Tecate now.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, what do we got? Publishers and developers say Stadia doesn't offer enough money to even be in the conversation.
I couldn't believe what I read on this. Like, there's still only 28 games on Stadia. Like, this was supposed to be the fucking game changer. This is going to... Nobody's buying computers next year. Like, this is going to be the big thing. And there's only
That was your speculation.
That was my speculation. I said 20 years, but whatever. Yeah, and what it comes down to is they are offering so little money to have it on their platform. It doesn't even compete with anybody else, and nobody's signing up for them, with them. Doom Eternal is going... That's still going to happen, but... Which is when, Bobby? Pretty soon.
March 23rd.
So we're still 23 days away?
Yep, 3 weeks.
I thought it was sooner. God damn it. Anyway, so that's why Stadia is going through what it's going through. And who has more money than Google? Like, why are they... I bet when they did their budgeting and this whole thing was being planned out, they didn't... Maybe they thought because they were Google, they were going to get better rates. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We were kind of talking about that last week. Like, sometimes things just break because of licensing reasons.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they don't want a license. It's just that they're not paying the going rate.
Yeah. Oh, who did we have? We had a sub, Brack Bob.
Brack Bob, thank you.
That's hard to pronounce, but thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Okay. What else? One more article. Gaming event Del Mar, April 26th through 29th.
Oh, that's you.
So about that. So there's the local, you brought it up earlier, the San Diego, Twitch San Diego group. There's a Discord. Well, one of the mods there, Rooster12G, hit me up the other day and told me about this event that's going on. I believe it starts on April 26th and it goes till 29th. So that's a Friday through Sunday. You can check your calendars to make sure. Right now, it's a gaming event, and they're supposed to be having, possible tournaments going on. It's supposed to be like, I guess, speed runs, Fortnite, Apex, Minecraft, PUBG, like the whole bunch of stuff is supposed to be going on over the Del Mar Fairgrounds. The only thing just yet, though, is the prices. They got prices down there that are not 100% solid because they want to try to get actual streamers out there. And you know how they do. I don't know if you've been to TwitchCon or went to TwitchCon this year at all. How they have streamer booths where you're able to, go in and sign up to stream for about 2 hours or an hour. It's fine. And they're trying to do the same thing here. But what they wanted to do, even with the small booths, they were trying to charge a streamer or streamers $350. They had to pay $350 to freaking stream in a booth, and it's like, wait a minute.
You can stand outside the booth and just live stream from your cell phone.
Yeah, exactly. That, and who's gonna make $350? Like, that's 100 and some odd subs that you need to be able to make that. So there's no way. So right now they're going through, trying to figure out a way. Hey, is there going to be a lower price that we have to pay to get in there if you want to, volunteer to become a streamer, or what's the full price of the whole convention in general? I got told $25 for all 3 days, but they're still, they're still negotiating the prices right now. So
this is like a first annual thing,
this is like the first time they've done it out here. So
doing something like this is so fucking hard, dude. Like, just the logistics and doing that. I hope they pull it off, and I'll support them for sure. I'll definitely go out there for at least one day. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, as I get more information, I will definitely message you guys and let you guys know more about
absolutely.
it. And then you guys, if you are in the area, you want to come out, there you go. But
I gotta put on my Smoochy cosplay and get to this thing.
yeah, I'm hoping it turns out to be
Just me
really
flicking
good
off all
event.
the little kids. By the no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We need stuff like this. This is awesome.
Yeah, I was saying
This is
earlier,
really cool.
like a lot of the content creators, like there's a lot of content creators who live in the LA area, but like San Diego, I know there's Twitch San Diego, and I know there was like in that group, I think they were on the news like a couple years back, but there's not a big, outing here in San Diego as far as content creation, especially if you're a streamer in general. So I think, and this is like an awesome event to be able to network and possibly meet new people and, possibly expand your brand.
Yeah,
So,
we can go. When is it? April
26th and 29th.
Now. We'll
So, yeah,
definitely go for
there's some time.
$25 for 3 days.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
that for right now.
Movie
Don't quote me.
tickets. Movie tickets.
For a
would cost me
convention,
that
that's
much.
extremely cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, TwitchCon is what?
I wouldn't mind
for
paying
3 days?
25 for one day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For some-
How much is
just
TwitchCon
some
for a 3-day pass? That's like
Ooh.
well over $100, right?
I think it was like 200. Oh, I think it was 200 because I went to the party,
Okay.
which was Petco Park afterwards. So I think it was like $200 for
Yeah.
TwitchCon and the party for affiliates. So
Yeah. BlizzCon is up to $230 now. I mean, usually for like a convention, I expect like $200.
I don't think I'll ever go back to another BlizzCon. I've been to 2. I'm burnt out. They don't even have games that are worth my attention, really.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of
this
there
point
with
now.
you. I really love the esports there, but now that there's no HOTS and, I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I probably won't do BlizzCon again.
At the end of April, it starts to get hot, but not as hot as Insidious. My my hot sauce that I sell. That's you can find that at go to dlgaming.net. Click on the link that I have there.
I have
And
cash on me. Can I buy some?
I don't have any here, unfortunately. I know I'm such a bad businessman, but I did.
I'm like your number one customer.
My at work at the construction site, fucking killing the game, dude. Like so many people are buying it. It's I'm selling probably equal to online that I am at work. Just like
Slinging your seed.
yeah, slinging my seed everywhere. Not like I did in high school.
Conquering the world.
It is a chili oil that is seed based, so it doesn't have any vegetables. Ew. It's fucking super delicious, savory. Chi loves it. I gotta. Chi, have you even tried to sell? I hit you. I gave you a promo code.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it later. Anyway, yeah. Use DLG at checkout, get 10% off, and support the podcast. Thank you for that. Let's move on.
All right. So time for listener questions. But before we do that, we're going to play a little audio clip from Warconius. So if you're a patron at the $10 tier, then you get to record a little audio clip that we will play on the podcast.
That's new. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, we got a whole new thing with Patreon now.
And this has been reviewed for content.
Sniper reviewed it. He said it was cool.
This is all fresh to us.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see what Warconius has to say.
Warconius here. I listen to DLG because I like my gaming news inaccurate. I like to be confused about release dates, publishers, and names of games. I also really enjoy inappropriate jokes about dead celebrities. The timing has to be completely inappropriate for me to enjoy it. Good job, DLG. I also really need accurate information about cleaning and maintaining fleshlights. DLG is awesome at it. Keep listening. Keep up the good work. Warconius out.
Dude,
Wait, who had the fleshlight?
No,
that was last week.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes the bar is set. There was a high bar set. Very low brow, but very high bar. I love it. Dude, that was awesome.
that was great.
So good.
Perfect. All right.
It's because
Do we
right
have a
after like,
timestamp for this fleshlight conversation?
the day after Kobe died, she was talking about like one of her like listeners or like,
Yeah, we don't need to relive
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
We don't even.
I don't even remember. I don't even.
Why,
I don't
why
even
explain
fucking remember.
a terrible joke? Like it's worse when you try to
Oh,
explain a
man.
joke in the first place, but to explain.
I'm here to bleed the audience. I'm the gouge.
Okay.
Where the listeners just bleed out.
All right. So we got quite a few listener questions. So let's not sit on them too long. Let's burn through them here. First one from Jeff Sunday. Are you happier when you're balls deep in one game or rotating a few?
Balls deep all the way.
Balls deep.
Yeah. I mean, so right now I'm bouncing around, and it's fine. But jeez, such a loaded question, or it's depends. When I was in The Witcher, like I'll retell the story. There's people that would talk about playing GTA, and you think about doing illegal shit in your car because you do it all the time in GTA. Like you start thinking that way. I was playing The Witcher so much. I was walking my dog, and a guy drove up, and he goes, "Don't go to the park, man. There's a pit bull on the loose, and it's attacking people." And I was like, "How much coin do you have?" I was like, that was my first thought. That was a legit thought. I was playing Witcher way too much, and that, dude, to play a game that much and love it that much, I mean, yeah, probably
That
got balls deep.
Geralt voice was pretty on point, but how about the series? Is your
Siri?
Series? The Netflix series?
The Netflix
Oh.
series. Is your enthusiasm matched
So
from the game
I listened to the
the
books,
show?
and the show follows the books, and I had just finished the book, so like it was cool in that way. I'm really interested because the Witcher, the games start right when the books end, so I'm wondering if the season 2 is going to be the games, which would be really interesting to me. Yeah, it was a great series.
Yeah, a game that long, you do need a lot of time with to play it to its natural conclusion, I feel. And it's kind of tough doing this podcast. Like, I feel like a lot of times I cut off games a little too short. Sometimes, like, I'm like, okay, a week's enough time for this game. But, like Grifflands, I don't know. But I talked about that last week.
No one
like,
knows.
That game I needed like 2 more days with. And I did. I beat the alpha, the
What's available now?
Yeah, what's available now, which isn't too much, but like I was not going to stop playing that game until I had beat it. But I needed, and I find this with most games that I play, I need roughly 2 weeks, but I usually try to cycle through them on 1 week. But then there's games I squeeze in every week, like Deep Rock.
Yeah. So what's your answer? Like when
2
you were
weeks.
balls deep into fucking
Rock deep.
that or Heroes of the Storm, either one.
Yeah, I mean that.
See,
that
the
was
thing about
tough.
being that deep is like you were enjoying the game, you were enjoying the media, you were enjoying the Reddit.
Yeah, it was a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think like technically I feel healthier when I'm rotating games, like when I can leave one behind. Or when I, like Deep Rock, I'm in a really good spot with right now because I can do the weeklies or whatever. I can pick up that game and I can let it go. Like, Here's the Storm, I could not let go. I had to be on that game every second I could.
If you play a game with us, dude, it'll probably be Deep Rock. The Galactic.
Deep Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Never heard of it
Or
before.
Counter-Strike. You could just
Counter-Strike
play
for sure.
Apex and Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I
I'm down
find
with
that a lot of, because you're kind of like a hardcore shooter guy, so you might find it a little casual, but we'll just crank it up to like Hazard 4 or something and just, see what
I'd be
happens.
down. I'd be down for that.
All right, Jeff Sunday also asks, what's the growth story of the DLG podcast? How has streaming on Twitch affected it? How many people listen or download?
So the Twitch we didn't see like a jump, like very few people actually watch us compared to how many listen.
Well, I think it changed the show, though. Like, having a live audience really changed the whole dynamic of the show.
For sure.
So
for
I think it
sure,
affected in that way.
And good or
I think in a good way, because we were way too inside when it was just us. Like, we'd constantly reference things that were happening off screen or off mic, or like talking about people that we knew. Like, we just forgot that, like, oh, this is for other people.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And we're way more aware of that when we have a live chat. So I think it was for the better.
Yeah, for sure. And then honestly, Sniper's been indispensable, dude. Like he really lit a fire under our asses.
Thank you for being everything I'm not.
It's kind of like he and Bobby together this year have really just like, we're going to do a bunch of shit. So we all started doing a bunch of shit and it's starting to pay off and it's great. We're getting...
Yeah,
it's
you know,
growing.
it's funny. Like, I don't feel like the podcast, as far as listenership, has really grown that much, but the activity and the involvement of our community has skyrocketed, like just insane amounts.
Yeah.
So, and I think naturally the podcast is going to grow as well, in listeners too.
And as far as numbers, we'll say we're in the thousands, but not the tens of thousands. But 10,000 is the Sniper goal that he set So upward and onward.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Nars, that's a new name. Nars says, what was your first experience or exposure to video games, be it a console, PC, arcade, going over to a friend's house to play, etc., and the first game you ever played?
Kick him in the Nars. It was Joust. My dad had some rich friends. We went to a rich guy's house, and they had
Mike.
They had
There you go.
They had an Atari, and on a big screen, and we were playing Joust. I mean,
What was a big screen back then, though?
no, it was a big projection screen.
Oh,
With the
okay.
projectors underneath. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, the ones that weighed like 400 pounds.
Yeah,
I
those
know
ones.
exactly. what you're
400, dude. I think you're going easy. On that. Yeah, we were playing that, and even though Joust sucked, it wasn't that point when I said, "Oh, this is going to change my life," but I definitely like, "Oh, this is so much better than a board game," like fucking for sure. So that was the first one. And then
I'm surprised you remember the game. I don't remember the first game
the
I
very
ever
first
played.
game, yeah.
I mean,
think
it had to
that
be
was
like an Atari 2600 game,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell
Okay,
you which
boomer.
one. I'm like half millennial here, Chi.
I'm just teasing.
Technically, Bobby, you're a millennial, or
Technically, I think I am. Yeah,
I told
'cause
you there are no
I'm going to be
boomers on this
37 in a month.
pretty sure I'm a
so-
boomer.
No, you?
No, dude, you're
Yeah.
Generation
No.
X, bro.
Oh, X, I mean.
Yeah. Can you buy a house a minimum wage? You're not a boomer.
I don't know. Tirrell, you remember the first game you ever played?
I want to say I don't know why the first one, because I remember my dad coming home. Like I was a little kid, and I remember my dad walking in, and he came in with an NES. It was a Nintendo NES, original Nintendo, and I was so stoked. But I don't know why. You ever see the TV show called Double Dare that was on Nickelodeon growing up?
Of course, dude.
Okay, so they had a Double Dare on Nintendo on the NES.
What's a Double Dare show?
Double Dare is like a game show where they have freaking slime,
Yeah, you
freaking
get slimed if you lost.
Oh, okay.
pies in your face.
Okay, yeah, I remember
Goo
Double Dare.
coming
I don't
down on
remember the
you.
name, but I remember.
I
all
used
of
to
that
love this.
goodness.
I used to love this show. Like
Double
yeah,
with the nose.
yeah,
with the
Yes.
nose.
Okay,
There.
I definitely
Yeah.
remember.
Wasn't there a rumor that the host killed himself?
I heard about that, and I think he had OCD. Like he was really the thing that he was on this show, and the fact that he had OCD actually blew my mind. So
Yeah.
I want to say this was the first game, but it couldn't have been because it was only Nintendo. I don't even think the Double Dare game was out
That's
yet when
so
the NES
awesome.
came out. Yeah,
Why
it
is
was
this
so
their
cool.
current one?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I was
It's
all
so
about
cool.
Guts growing up, I think.
Guts was a good one too.
And Legend of the Temple.
It's kind of
Legend
like
of the Hidden Temple. Yes, that
Hidden
one's
Temple,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like road rules on a stage. I guess they're just competing against each other, and then if you fail, you get slimed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
then-
guess.
yeah.
They had a video game one called Johnny Arcade that I used to watch every morning, but nobody remembers that.
Johnny Arcade.
Johnny
Glad you
Arcade.
brought it up, though.
Yeah. Someone, dude, there's going to be a
see.
listener that's like, yep, I remember Johnny Arcade.
I remember Johnny Bravo.
car, dude. Johnny Arcade.
Because at the end, you got to run through this gauntlet of video games where the Nintendo games are like stuck to the wall, and you just grabbed as many as you could and threw them in a basket and ran towards the
Oh,
end.
that's awesome.
And I was like, oh my God, dude, dream come true. Like that's what I wanted to do. But yeah, so Double Dare. This kind of reminds me of my NES experience because I remember getting this. The family got it for Christmas. It was a huge deal, but my parents were they did not want any violent games. So the first game we got was Win, Lose, or Draw. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, we got a Nintendo, cool, but Win, Lose, or Draw. But I did play a lot of that game.
Did you get a Nintendo with it? I mean, Super Mario Bros.
No, I don't even think
Yeah.
it was like the Super Mario
Oh,
package. Yeah.
damn.
But, I eventually got
Gee,
games.
I
Counter Strike.
no, I remember the NES in the household. It was my brother's, and we played Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. That's my earliest memory of playing video games outside of potentially what was at like the pinball machine or the Pac-Man machine out in public. So, but I think more specifically at home, Duck Hunt was my first impression of video games.
That's like
Duck Hunt?
that's a
Okay.
pure
Yeah.
and solid starting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I used to get in trouble all the time. Like early in the morning, I would I couldn't use the gun because I would get yelled at by my mother. Why are you making all that damn noise? Because the gun
It
goes
clicks,
ping,
right?
ping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was
a
super
loud
loud.
gun.
And then I learned that you can't really cheat the game. You can't shoot at point blank and get the points.
Well, you
But
could.
yeah, I was
No.
I was blasting off Duck Boys from a very early age.
What the fuck are we talking about? The whiskey continues to flow at the DLG.
No, but I mean, I think that's a good standard. That's a good foundation to start off of, like Super Mario Bros. And Duck
Oh
Hunt.
yeah, I think it was like
Yeah.
that's a very pure beginning.
Yep. All right. Burn Division asks, any YouTube channels you guys like to watch?
What have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of Northern Lion because he plays a lot of roguelikes. I just like his voice and the way he talks. I don't know. It's like hypnotic to me.
I like those relationship coaches.
And now I got Sam watching him. I think she watched a couple of episodes with me. She's like, because you're watching him playing Binding of Isaac, you're picking up shit like, oh, why do you do that? She's like, oh, rewind it a little bit, and I'm like, oh, she's starting to fall for the whole video game media thing. So that's good. Yeah, you guys.
I've been watching on YouTube. You guys ever seen 60 Days In?
No.
Okay, so that's like a show where people or civilians or regular people, and they go in on a program to get arrested, and I think they're arrested for like 30 days, and they go in there to see if they can find contraband that shouldn't be in there, shanks, drugs, and all that stuff, and then they report it to the CO there.
Undercover?
Yeah, it's on what TV show is that on?
But it's real life.
Yeah, it's real life. It's real life stuff, and I don't know why I keep on like randomly it pops up on my recommended, and I don't know why I keep on watching like these little 5 to 10 minute clips, not even the full episodes, but I just been watching them religiously for no reason.
That's good shit.
Nice. I haven't been watching that much YouTube lately. Even the gaming channels that I usually watch, just haven't been into it too
You've been
much.
watching fucking 007, that's why.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of them. I have to watch like 3 a week because I'm doing the non-canonical ones too, man. It's like 26 movies.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Whoa.
Gee, do you watch YouTube?
Not so much. I listen to YouTube, so I'll turn on a lot of audio bits. I don't really actually listen to podcasts, guys. I apologize. That's probably why I am the way I am. But I do listen to TED Talks. I wasn't kidding when I said I listen to like potential relationship advice channels and whatnot. It's like anything that just kind of, as I'm cleaning the house, I don't have to watch YouTube. I actually don't actively like to watch YouTube. I don't even like, just like scrolling on Insta or Facebook and watching those little movies that people repost because I find myself getting caught in that rabbit hole, and I hate it. So I just like leaving it up in the background and trying to be productive with everything else.
The first thing I jumped to when you said that is like, I was thinking about data caps. Do you have data caps, and do you ever have to worry about them?
Not with internet that I know
Who are you
of.
with?
Well, I was with AT&T.
And now?
And now I'm with Spectrum.
Okay.
And am I with Spectrum?
Who do you have?
I have Spectrum. Oh, it's a nightmare. But I have Spectrum. I just filed the FCC complaint. So you said
Really?
that. Yeah, I had 3 months. My upload speed was being unstable, and I have business Spectrum. It wasn't even residential. So the fact that was happening, oh man, what a nightmare. It's like you're ready to stream, and then all of a sudden, goes down.
Not by preference do I have Spectrum.
Yeah, you don't really have a choice around here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Bernie's always talking about. He goes, no bid contracts. It's like, it makes sense. Why do they get to, like, we don't get a choice? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Like, you have to buy bananas? I like other fruit too. No, just bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even worse for businesses too. Like I remember working like in a business complex, and it was like only AT&T, like almost for every single business complex for the longest time in San Diego, just AT&T. And this is back when they had like ADSL, which was just awful.
Time Warner got like worst customer service in the United States of any company, and it's because their customers don't have a choice.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Anyway,
Need more of that
the reason
Google
I brought it
Fiber
up
out there
is we were going over. This is a new thing that Cox has.
Actually, I think I have Cox. I don't remember.
So
I've had them all.
You probably just don't go
I've
over.
had them all. I don't even know.
You've had all the Cox. Jesus Christ! Come on, it's a family podcast.
I've had Time Warner. I've moved a lot, guys. In total, in the past decade, I've moved 15 times. In San Diego alone, over 7 or 8. So depending on what's available to me, I just accept it. I might have Cox. I might have Spectrum. It's definitely not Time Warner.
You don't know who you
AT&T.
pay every month.
Time Warner, no.
It's on auto pay.
Time Warner used to be, I think Spectrum took over for Time Warner out
So
here.
maybe,
Correct.
honestly, I don't know what I have. I really don't.
So what I was getting to is that Cox decided to put a data cap, so we get 1 terabyte a month, right?
I have Cox.
Makes no sense.
I have Cox.
You have Cox?
Or a Spectrum Cox.
But since you're by yourself, you probably don't go over the 1 terabyte.
I'm not by
But-
myself.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you got roommates.
you might run into
But
this. issue.
regardless, I see what
I
you're
doubt
saying.
it.
They started doing that a while ago, like right
Yeah.
around the time when I stopped using them, because I was paying $105 a month for internet, and then I had to pay another 15 if I wanted to up my data cap.
Oh,
Which
you guys are getting lucky, dude.
yeah.
So I think what's going on is
well, that was for 300 down, 300 up. That wasn't even gigabit.
right.
Yeah, so
I get 300 down. Why? What's going
You
on?
guys are so lucky. It's 200 down. Well, originally it was 100 down and only 10 up. Like my upload's so important for you to.
Right.
Oh
be able
yeah,
to
I don't
stream.
do anything less than 20 up.
So
Yeah.
mine, like I can't even go up higher than right now. I have 200 down, 10 up on a business. And luckily, because it's a legacy account, I'm only paying 60. Supposedly, they're giving, because I have a business account, they're charging $115 for that.
I believe.
And it's like,
Because
what?
business accounts are usually symmetrical.
More expensive too.
Yeah, they're more expensive, but they're symmetrical, so you get better upload on those.
But you don't. That's
Yeah,
I'm experiencing
mean,
it right now.
the advertised, but with fiber, that's a lot of that's supposed to be symmetrical too. Like I
had
have,
fiber. It was amazing.
I paid. This is ridiculous, but I got gigabit and I pay $45 a month. I have to pay for it like a year at a time.
I
but,
wish.
Okay,
You know, because I'm
Bobby.
lucky enough to be in a place that has Web Pass, the
Yeah.
Google Fiber, but that's pretty rare around here.
Yeah.
But it all depends
so
on what.
lucky, dude.
It's super
You
lucky.
really are.
Isn't WebPass more apartment based?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I live in a high rise.
Okay.
So yeah, it's got to be put in by the building.
Okay.
Like they have to put a big
Bobby's
ass
place
satellite.
is about the size of this room, but
Yeah, it's pretty small, but it's all I need.
But
I wish I
it's
had the internet.
so-
I wouldn't care.
it's so immaculate. I miss your place, Bobby.
yeah,
I really miss
there.
your place.
You can go over anytime you want
There's
to.
nothing over there. There's not even food. There's not even Rockstar.
So, anyways, so I get 1 terabyte. So for $109, I think it's 300 down, whatever up, 50 up, whatever, right? And then so our bill started being $200, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's because
they charge you per 10.
yeah, every time you go over a terabyte,
Microtransactions.
it goes up and up and up and up. And so they charge you. And I was like, what changed? And I realized it's because we're streaming in 4K now. Because I paid Netflix more money so that we could get the 4K. Now we all have 4K TVs. There's 3 TVs running all the time, streaming nonstop, even when people are just walking around the house. So I'm like, oh, this has to change. So I call Cox, what's up? And they have an unlimited, but that's $50. So now I'm paying for my thing that's $109 plus the $50. Every month it's $170 for internet alone. No,
That's crazy.
yep.
I mean, you probably already know this, but if you call Cox and say I want to cancel my service, they are like literally required to offer you like a free month or two. Like that's part of the whole script that they.
Well,
read.
what we did was we switched users. So we got the introductory rate for 6
okay.
months or whatever.
Yeah.
So it went down to $60, but still, it was a pain in
Yeah.
the ass.
At that point, I would start to become a little bit more creative and maybe because like through my cell phone service, I have unlimited hotspot. I would maybe program a couple of your. No, you do 4K. Like, is it necessary that you're always watching super high quality 4K fucking Cake Wars?
Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a solution to this, I'm sure.
Well, we'll just play the 160.
Okay.
for now.
All right. Fuse41 says, been listening for a year and just became a patron and was wondering how you two both met and got into gaming. Love your work. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Especially like making that jump to the patron. Like I know it's a chasm, but if you do that, then it helps us out so much. We have so many plans and we have, just check out our goal list and tell me those things don't look enticing. Anyway,
Yeah, this question gets asked every so often. We never really know how to say it.
yeah,
but
we always
Were you
we
sober
kinda-
back then, Bobby?
No. Yeah, so that we were two like young party animals in San Diego and just kind of happened to meet each other. If you show up to DLG Con, maybe you get the behind the scenes on that.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Bobby and I were in the same enterprise.
Okay, next question.
Really?
Days, one of our lovely community moderators. If you could have any creature in existence, real or not, what creature would you use as your personal mount?
And this is like not like fucking it. This is like going into like a Braveheart type.
I don't think
battle.
anyone was thinking fucking it. Dude. I think you're the only person.
What?
I'm just getting out ahead of this, dude.
I love you, Days. I love this question. And your wording.
We've asked this question before.
Well, last week it was what vehicle, and I did say a chocobo. So
I think I said like a ponytail.
I don't think you were here last week, Chief.
No.
Maybe
dude,
not last
you
week,
went
but
with-
there was one time where we.
No,
had
I said
a
something
question
That
else.
thing would
similar
be
to this.
it, dude. That thing that you talked about from Far Cry.
Oh yeah, the dinosaur with like a mounted
dude,
laser
if
cannon.
you were going up against a bunch of warriors and you were
Yeah,
on a dinosaur
but
with
then-
lasers for eyes.
I'm in a chocobo. Kind of
It's
cool
fast.
too. So all right, what's the question here? A creature, real or not,
Yeah.
personal mount.
Human centipede of all my ex-boyfriends.
Oh my god,
Ew.
dude.
Ooh.
Okay, that's. I
No man would fuck
feel
with
like
you.
you're kind of working through your own thing over there, Chi.
That's harsh. That's really harsh.
No, but all men would run. Yeah, for sure. It would break the hearts of men.
Max would be at the front because I would want to say, wait, no, whoa!
Okay.
That's right.
I don't
Names
know.
that should not be mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
think
Listener
about this,
questions
guys.
is where it really starts
I told him.
teetering.
I told him ahead of time.
It's usually like a. We usually go into a tailspin right about now and just
Yeah.
ride that
Love
out.
Bobby, what would you ride into battle?
Into battle? Who says we're going to battle? This is just like my daily, 15,000 miles a year, going to work, going back mount.
No, then it would say like your transportation.
I'm going green, man. A chocobo. You
Chocobo,
just,
huh?
Yeah, you feed it something, low. You're not polluting the environment. Just got to pick up its poop, bring the doggy bags, I guess. But I don't know, dude.
Do you have one?
I really can't like to ride on as well. Why not Mewtwo? Like I can have Mewtwo run around with
Okay.
me and do some
Magic?
some magic and read me tarot cards and maybe
That's
tell
really
me my
cool.
future and stuff like that. I don't know. I have no idea. Chocobo is a good one though too because I
What
love
an
Final Fantasy
innocent
VII.
answer. I needed that to save me. Thank you.
Now, when I hear mount, I think battle. That's what I'm thinking. I want to scare everybody. Right?
Okay.
If you want to ride a giant fucking spider or like.
And I was just kidding, obviously.
No, you weren't though. That's so gross, dude. Yeah, something. Praying mantis, a giant praying mantis.
There you go.
Bring mantis. Okay.
You ever see? Watch some praying mantis videos on YouTube. They take on cats, dogs. They don't give a fuck. They're so gnarly.
You know what? I wouldn't mind
would.
being Dwayne The Rock Johnson's backpack, personal backpack.
Wait,
You got it.
That is hilarious. They do have mounts like that too. I think in WoW, you jump in the backpack. You're in the backpack as it's walking around. So I can
And
see
I was
that.
just like, I was clinging onto his back.
All right. Zap asks, how do you take your coffee? Any coffee drinkers?
Straight. I'm a straight.
I don't drink
espresso.
coffee, but
No black,
yeah,
yeah.
if I do,
Yeah.
straight espresso, definitely.
Straight espresso, that's
Yeah,
it?
straight. Yeah, no
But I haven't
creamer,
had
no
coffee in
sugar.
years.
Yeah. Big black coffee, too.
so you went from monsters every day to like no coffee either?
Well, I never even drank coffee before then. Here's the weird part. I drank like a Monster or a Rockstar every day, but coffee would make me jittery. Yeah, Rockstar wouldn't. Rockstar was just like getting me to that level, but
Weird, man.
yeah,
So what do you do now?
nothing. I eat a lot of popcorn.
Popcorn?
I do go through a lot of popcorn, yeah.
Is there a specific kind?
The
So you
cheapest
don't
one they sell
smoke,
at Costco.
Drink, drugs, just popcorn.
Is your
Yeah.
biggest vice?
Is that a vice, even?
That's probably
Is
the
it flavored
closest
popcorn?
thing. No. Well, no. When I'm over at my girlfriend, she has this cheesy popcorn. That's pretty good.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So no actual, only non-perishables in your house.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll have some leftovers or food, but yeah.
I drink a giant latte in the morning. So like
Every morning? Wow.
most mornings, yeah, like a 32-ounce.
Isn't that
latte.
do you buy it from Starbucks?
No, I make it myself.
Oh, okay. You got a coffee maker.
Yeah, Bobby.
Milk,
I don't know how coffee works. Is a latte like something you make in a
milk.
coffee?
It's like
No,
foam milk,
latte just
steam,
means there's
steam
milk
milk,
in it.
and coffee. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. You have a coffee maker?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't have anything, man.
Dude,
I got a
his
microwave.
house is like if you're gonna show it to be sold, and there was fake furniture there. That's what his furniture looks like. So you just walk it. There's nothing on the walls. Like it's very bare bones.
It gets, dude. I don't have anything that I don't need.
I like it.
It's good. The
I'm not talking
minimalist.
shit.
What is it? Minimalist.
Minimalist.
It
yeah.
also looks like a casting room, literally, not just
Oh,
for
that's just-
Is there a
podcasts.
couch there?
The couch.
Leather couch, all black, everything.
Black leather.
Not
with,
enough.
with
Not
hints
enough.
of white
not
and
enough.
gray.
Not enough food or anything to keep anybody around. Satan sheets. Satin
Satin
Satan
sheets.
satin sheets. Just like anything but a UV light.
Look at Zap with a very simple question gets all this content.
Okay. Clooney asks or says, I have 18 days played in my
Jesus.
classic WoW warrior. Do I have a life?
Yeah, man. I'm sure you have a bunch of friends on there, and they're fucking cooler than your real life friends. So fuck it.
Well, what's 18 days, 24 hours, like a little over 400?
Yeah, dude. That's not even. Talk,
Dude, yeah,
talk
you're
to
fine.
Snipe.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
fine,
Oh,
dude.
Ooh, I got.
400 hours in the game, not too. I guess it kind of depends on like how, like, is it, have you been going 18 days straight and doing nothing else, not even sleeping?
No,
Yeah, maybe that's a
probably
problem.
is /
Talk to
play
Cricket
time.
Soldier, dude. He has 4,000 hours in Arc. I have.
I miss cricket.
You still around? You're just not around.
I know, obviously.
I had 1 year played on EverQuest. 1 year of online play.
Have you ever
Not
cried
18
over
days.
EverQuest though?
Think about that.
Have you ever cried over EverQuest?
Probably pretty
Really?
close, yeah. I mean, it used to be
So
my
that's
life.
8,760 hours a year.
So there you go. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yikes.
But I did so.
Whoa! Time out. What is that picture of Near Adamat?
Yeah, that sounds.
Oh, okay. My eyes. I thought that was okay.
Yeah, it looks like
So
one
she's-
person at first glance.
It
almost.
looks like she's just super widespread. Like she's
Yeah,
carrying a
that's
body.
still what I'm saying.
But it actually looks like she's.
Oh,
just,
she's carrying
She's
a
carrying
body.
someone.
Yeah.
No, it kind of, if you glance at it quickly, it looks like
legit
she's spread eagle.
Yeah, she's spread eagle or whatever.
Yeah. It went from super exciting to very sad.
I see it now.
Right?
Wait, what side did you see first?
No, I saw her
That-
carrying onto something, but then she said the spread eagle. Now I see the knees and the body. How it could look like.
I didn't even see the body. I honestly thought
Chad once sent me a.
this is
a
why you
picture
need to
of-
watch her Twitch.
Chad sent me a picture of 9 dolphins, right? And I saw 2 people fucking, and he's like, "How many dolphins do you see?" He's like, "I was like none," and he's like, "Your sexual depravity is on how many dolphins you can see." I was like, "Where are the dolphins? I don't see any dolphins." And he was my roommate, right? So he walked over. He goes, "Do you see this shape right here?" And I was like, "I guess that's a dolphin." And so we went through the whole 10 dolphins. Oh man! And I wasn't even playing into the game. Like I definitely did not see dolphins.
All right, last question from Rocket Sheepdog, also one of our new patrons. It says, "Hey Bobby, are you actually a Rams fan? Noticed your sweater last podcast. If so, why the Rams and not the Chargers?" So first of all, good eye. I was waiting for someone to bring that up. I am not a football fan in general.
Football.
Where did
I
you
don't
get
watch
that
any
sweater?
sports ball. Okay,
Sports ball.
so my girlfriend's dad buys stuff a lot.
Wholesale?
No, just he comes home and he's just like, "Hey, I bought a Rams shirt, Rams helmet, Ram hoodie, and
Is he a Rams guy?
No." And then he's like, "Yeah, I don't want
Wow.
it. Hey, you want it?" And then he'll just give me all this stuff. Always food,
Is he a hoarder?
clothing. No, not really. They have a pretty sparse
He's just
house.
worried about you. He's seen
No,
how you
he
live.
always just buys.
He's been to your house.
It's
He's like, this dude needs some stuff.
I don't know. Maybe
Tirrell,
it's a boomer thing.
Do
like
you
maybe they-
relate to how he lives at all?
No,
Like, what kind
I
of
can completely
setting?
understand him. But I can like.
How do you live?
I like to do because I used to be I grew up how my mom taught me, so she was always materialistic. Me, when I grew up and then had to break away from that, now I live the minimalist lifestyle too.
Do you live by yourself?
No, it's me and my lady. 6-year anniversary was
Congratulations.
freaking
Wow, that's awesome.
3 days ago. So, you know.
Nice.
Can I listen to your YouTube
Absolutely.
podcast on
No, absolutely. I don't have
6
one, but I could
relationship
probably.
work.
She's always
You
right.
probably could
That's
do
all you
it.
got to do.
She is always right.
But yeah, freaking. I lost my train of thought again. I'm really good at doing that. I don't know why, but yeah.
Minimalist. It's the way to go.
Yeah.
There we go.
But the Ram sweater.
Yeah. So anyway, so he gave me all the stuff: Ram shirt, Ram hoodie, Ram football helmet, and I was like, if
Rammed
I
you
wear,
pretty hard, didn't he?
yeah, if I so I thought if I wear this, then people are gonna like start talking sports to me, and it's gonna be weird. But then I wore it. I'm like, God damn, this is really comfortable. Like it's actually really like it fits really well. It's very comfortable. It's like warm, but not too warm. So I started wearing it more often, and then I was just kind of waiting for someone to bring
Has
that
any
up.
in real life has anybody brought?
Has not
anything
come up yet.
No.
Yeah.
So, as a non-sports guy, my whole life too, and guys try to speak sports. It's just like what guys say, right? I was like, what is a phrase that I can respond to?
Just complain about the team. Just say if the owners would just put money into the team, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
you know? The pitching.
See,
all
that's
right?
too much. Too much. I want to cut it down. Tirrell, hit me with some sports talk if you got any. Just
So
something that you would say.
I'm in the same shoes as both of you.
I would imagine, yeah.
When people come to me to talk about
Yeah.
sports, I say I'd rather be in the game playing than watching. So I don't really watch
There you
sports
go.
religiously.
Yeah.
So I just like if it's there, cool. But like I don't need to go to the bar on Sunday to watch the Sunday night football or Monday night football or
Yeah.
watch the basketball game. I'll watch a highlight on YouTube
Yeah, I
if something
like
pops
highlights.
up. You know, so.
So-
Okay. Did you?
Anyway.
Nobody watch the Super Bowl here? I'm guessing.
I
watched
watched it a little bit.
Halftime was
It was
really
Halftime
actually
show.
a good game.
Halftime show.
And my whole family
was a
is
good game.
49er fans too.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
I was
I used
rooting
to
for
be
the
into baseball
Chiefs.
when I was younger, and I still kind of watch a little bit here and there. But football, I've just never really liked. And the Chargers are no longer in San Diego, and we still have a lot of Chargers fans, I guess. But it's not like it
Yeah.
was.
So
It's
this
pretty
phrase will get
different.
you out of everything, no matter what. If it's bad, good, whatever they say. Hey, whatever.
How
See
about
the-
them Rams?
I say more power to them. It just covers all bases, whether they're doing good or bad, or they did a good trade, or more power to them.
I feel like you could say that for anything,
More power to
even
'em.
not sports related.
What?
I feel like you could say that about
Politically.
anything, even
Yeah,
not,
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing
politics.
about Trump. More power to him.
Well,
There are limits.
No, stop with the power. If anything, they got to stop with the power.
but yeah, I don't know. Occasionally, people do try to talk sports with me. It does happen. But if it's baseball, I can kind of talk a little bit about it. But yeah.
I actually
Football,
have a
absolutely
tagline for
not.
this too. I have a couple little taglines for everything, like gamer before streamer. And then if anyone brings up, "Hey, Chi, do you like sports?" I'm like, "I'm already into video games." Or it's the same answer with cars and sports. I get this a lot actually. They're like, "Are you into cars or into sports?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm like, dude, I'm already into video games. If you want me to like sports or cars too, I might as well just grow a dick."
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like I still
What more do
like,
you want?
Exactly. I still want to be able to wear skirts. So
I will say, though, I do kind of miss having the Chargers in San Diego because I remember in the 90s when they went to the Super Bowl, and it was insane. It was like the end of Return of the Jedi, dude. Like, people were in the streets
Fireworks.
celebrating.
Yeah.
Planets,
dude. They're
different
dancing
planets
with
were going up.
Ewoks. Like, it was nuts, man. People were just, like, honking their horns, just hanging outside their houses. It was bananas. And granted, that was back before everybody was just so, like, isolated on their cell phones, computers, whatever. You know, that probably played a little bit into it. But still, like, I kind of miss that. All right. Is that it? I think that's it.
I think that's it.
All right.
Let's
What's
wrap
everyone
it up.
playing next week?
You guys go first. Apex Legends.
Apex, you already know it. I got to grind.
Tirrell, I would love to play a game with you. I'd love
let
to
me know.
play either Apex, Counter Strike. What? What?
Giving him the no sign.
How about some MOBAs?
MOBAs?
If you're not into RTSs, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
shitty
yeah,
at
yeah,
MOBAs.
yeah.
I'm pretty shitty at actually. I don't know. I'm a try hard, but I'm not great at anything. So, but at least I care. Like with competitive gaming, I don't go in there to like. I know. I mean, and I know people that are really good at the game. So if I'm not carrying my weight, at least I'm trusting somebody else to do it. So.
Introduce them to your brother. Oh, but your brothers don't have time to.
Yeah, my little brother is graduating nursing school. My
Yeah.
bigger brother has 2 baby girls.
Tryhards.
RL tryhards.
So grinding it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're grinding it out.
Yeah, putting the playtime
I
into
have to hit
RL.
Masters this week. So normally I do sub day on Thursday. I'll play with all my subs. They're not usually as high as rank as I am.
Yeah.
But then I might do a half a day this week because I want to at least get the Masters for the split. And then, I can go a little bit easier until, the next map restarts on Kings Canyon. So
that's Twitch Exuberant Gaming.
yeah, Exuberant Gaming on Twitch, yes.
Cool. Go support them, guys.
Yeah,
Go check 'em
we'll
out.
do a co-stream or something
Right,
for
sounds
sure.
good. Yeah, let me know.
You might have to get on me about that, but yeah, I'll at least add you to Discord. That's
Sounds good. Sounds
there you
good.
go.
All right. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I kind of want to check out Oxygen Not Included. I know Sniper has been playing that a lot lately. Captain Gummy picked it up recently. A lot of people have been talking about it. Another Clay Entertainment game. We know those are always good.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe I'll go wherever the wind takes me.
So I want to go back to Hades. It's a game I can beat. I really enjoyed it, and I just, I played it 3 weeks ago, and I had to keep the ball rolling. But when I was looking at this new game, I felt like I was that meme where the guy's like, "Ooh," and like Hades is right here, and that game Curse of the Old God is right here. It's like it's pretty much the same game. I just haven't finished Hades, so I'll probably Hades this week.
Yeah. No, I already went.
Oh, okay.
If I could say who I am as a gamer, and if I were a meme, it'd probably be, what's her name again? Is it Reese Witherspoon yelling at the cat? Who's that?
I don't know.
Pointing at
No,
the cat,
that's like
the cat
a
meme?
Real Housewives, wives, right?
Isn't
That's
that
what
Reese
so.
Witherspoon? Who is that chick?
I thought it was a Real
Yeah, I
Housewives.
thought it was a
Real
Housewives.
Housewives.
Yeah,
What?
Real Housewives.
Yeah, isn't it from
It looks a
Real-
lot like Reese Witherspoon.
Okay, but it's not.
Can we look up that cat meme?
I think it's a little late in the podcast to be looking up things that never turn out to be what you're looking at.
Really?
Yeah. Speaking for
Like
Tirrell.
the eagle, the spread eagle near Automata.
Speaking for Tirrell, Bobby, Chi, and myself, not Reese Witherspoon's titties. Bye.
What?
I actually didn't mean to hit the buzzer. It was a slip of the finger.
No, it fit perfectly. Tirrell, thank you so much for coming all the way out to Chula Vista.
No problem. I
record with
appreciate
us.
all you guys for
Oh, you
having
start
me.
off in